this is going to help a lot of ladies out. These are things that are valuable to men. I run a men's group, and we'll put that on there. And I've talked to probably, I would say, 10,000.
I want to get you and one of your guys who just does men's group with you on here one of these days.
Done.
By the way, I'd love that.
Done. So these are the things that we came up that is valuable. That does not. These are value. You just not. When ladies hear things, it's like they'll take. Oh, I have to have it, and it's like they take absolute, and then they have this euphoric. Yeah, but what ifs? Mm-hmm. But these are things that are valuable. No kids, feminine, no masculinity, no masculinity, fit in shape, soft spoken, great hygiene, always in parentheses, sober, sex appeal, trustworthy, family oriented, cooks and cleans, has a hobby that they're good at, knows their biblical role. That's mine. I inserted that. Sorry. Yeah. Can dance, a low body count, good with kids and young women, easy for me to talk to, does not shut down, displays joy, can dress. That one's just mine. Mentally stable, discreet, classy, humble, comprehensive, has integrity, takes correction or criticism, has older women counsel. That's valuable if a woman has that. Open availability. Like if you work 40, 60 hours a week, that's not valuable.
Right.
If you have availability, that's valuable. Communicates on her own. Babe, I'm sorry, but hey, you were flirting with the waiter too much. That hurt my feelings, and I want to like you all to myself. But I still like you. I still want to sit. I mean,
yeah.
Like,
I just needed to express that.
Yeah, that's valuable if a woman can do that. Can speak another language. A lot of women. I'm almost done.
Oh, yours
takes interest in a man's interest. If your guy has a hobby, if you know what position your husband or boyfriend plays, you're doing good. Or his hobbies, or know something about his hobby of like his favorite character on the game. Maybe even if you don't like the game, taking that avenue, that's valuable to a.
One with number 206 with the one and only Pastor Joseph Webb IV, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad we finally reconnected, brother. Thank you for reaching out. Shout out to Stephen Francis, who found me on social media and was able to get me and Joseph back connected again, because the last time I talked to this man, we went for 3 hours long, and it was honestly one of the most memorable podcasts I've ever done. And I'm on 206 episodes.
Oh man.
So it's been
good.
Yeah, so it's been a long time since. I mean, been many episodes. It's been a long time since you've been on it. Probably done a good 70 or 80. And I was just telling Joseph off air, I've taken a little bit of a break recently, and it lasted longer than expected. And during that time, like, I started to feel guilty on myself. When you're in a really healthy routine, like you're working out, you're going to work, you're going to school, you're doing the pods. Yeah. And it's funny, it's like you just slip up 1 week and then you just lose. You slip up 1 week, it turns into 6 weeks. Yeah. Then 6 weeks turns into 3 months. Yeah. And then 3 months turns into a year. Man. Now it's just like you've lost your whole fucking discipline in what you're doing. Yeah. So I just started recording like a couple weeks ago. Joseph hit me up last week, and that's how, like, to me, that was a sign. I took the right amount of time that I needed to kind of just get other things accomplished in my life, with like things in my romantic relationship, with things in my professional life, There's a bunch of, just a bunch of things going on. And now it's like, okay, it's time for me to get back to recording behind the mic, and my boy Joseph is going to be here with us.
Awesome.
So thanks for coming here, brother.
Man,
how have you been?
First, thanks for having me, man. It's just a pleasure, man, that you open up your doors and to have me again. I'm honored to be here, man. I admire you. Like I said last time, man, your ambition, your whole story, I love it, man. Your consistent character. It's just a blessing to know you as a friend and a brother, and to have me on here is a pleasure, man. It's not an inconvenience. I look forward to it. I had it marked. I got to be here. Yeah. That time when you said 1 o'clock, I say, yeah, whatever time you say, as long as it's not 12:30 on Sunday morning, I was going to be here.
Yeah. I know. I think you have I really like your philosophy and outlook on life, especially in like in today's dating world and being a man and young men growing up. You're a very big influence in the community and like the people around you. And I envy you for that. Honestly, like when I see how much you influence the people around you, like in your community, that's what I'm hoping to do through these podcasts, and I really that's why I like bringing you on here, so we can take your word and take it from a more like a local level and get it to the global by putting it, online here for everyone.
I appreciate the compliment, man. It's, all praise is due to God, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I'm a flawed man, and it's good to hear that, but I got to stay humble. I got a good team around me. I got good people around me. I got a good accountability. I try to embrace new relationships, and it's not anything that's hard or there's no cheat code. It's just nice to be nice to people. It's good to be friendly. Like how you were just friendly. Like you didn't know me from Adam, but you rolled the dice. Mm-hmm. Allowed a stranger to come into the podcast and exchange information. I could be I still might be crazy weirdo, but like it's just
no, we all have our demons still. Some people are just better at controlling them. Is what I say.
Right. So I appreciate the compliment, but I gotta just embrace other people too. The part of any success that I have, right? It's God, only God, that done it and allowed avenues to relationship for me and put me in rooms that I got a chance to stay in the rooms, and they saw something in me, and good mentors and people in high seats have embraced me just as a friend first, and then they seen the work, and then that's just it's only God, because I was just a bad guy that needed guidance and accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and personal Savior, and he's still working. And he's still trying to do things and he's still doing things in my life. But I love the process of just like the failures of running a basketball camp that failed, that had maybe 6 to 10 kids, and then run another one that have 25 to 30 kids, and having, we just had the mayor come, Melvin Carter came to our camp, and just like surprised us and just knew what we were doing, and stuff like that happens. And you're almost in tears because you remember the failures that you have to go through to get there. And then you appreciate the success better. And I think that even this podcast, I think that it's going to be hard to get to you in a couple of years or in a couple of months, because it's like you have everything. You got good people skills, you're articulate, you're fun to be around, you're pleasant. I mean, you're just a kind guy. I mean, it's a jewel. The capacity that I sit in, I meet a lot of people, and there's so many inconsistencies with like, is he gonna be nice today? What am I rolling the dice? You've been consistent, and I really admire you for that, man. I really admire you for being just a consistent dude, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I get that a lot from my mom, being consistent.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. I mean, that's a masculine trait you have that I don't even think you even realize how masculine that is. I don't have to roll the dice of like, who is this guy today? It's like, he's just a consistent dude. And it's like, I admire that about you, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Consistency is one of the toughest things in life, because like you said, everyone has like their good days and their bad days. And some days are really tough to be consistent, especially being a bartender, man. There's just the amount of people I have to deal with and the shirts I get put under. But I always remind myself, I never know what this other person is going through, and I always try to kill them with kindness.
And that's wisdom. I mean, I think a strong man is good, but a wise man will be more fruitful, because if he has his anger intact, a mighty man can't really trump that.
I heard a good quote. It was I'm going to butcher it a little bit. It's by this guy I listened to. It's Jordan Peterson. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Yeah, I know Jordan Peterson.
But he basically, he had a quote where it goes something like, a man who can't control his anger is useless.
Yes.
But a man who can't control his anger, that's the scary man. That's the kind of man you want to be.
Yeah. Basically, he's saying that a mighty man is not anything to a man that has his emotions intact. And that's actually a proverb, I think. Yeah. That's something I really admire about you, man. So I'm glad to be here. We can get into it. It's just a blessing, man. I could say good things about you all day.
Yeah, the same thing.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, no worries, you're good. You mentioned accountability a little bit ago. I would like to pick at your brain at that for a little bit. Because you being African-American yourself, I feel like when I watch a lot of these like mainstream media and these news and whatnot, I feel like nowadays a lot of institutions, they're kind of teaching people that your ethnicity may put you at a disadvantage.
Ooh.
Do you feel like I feel like I don't feel that way at all? You know, I feel like no matter what color your skin is, what background you come from, if you work hard at it, you can achieve and accomplish anything in your life. You know, I understand some people are dealt better hands than others. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, but it's how you play the game of life, you know, and just really holding yourself accountable. And it's not even an ethnicity scene. It goes into like genders now. Yeah. Too, you know, well, I didn't get this job, you know, because I'm gay, or they don't like me because I look this way. Right. They didn't, and there's like, they're making it a lot easier for people to point the blame at something else other than themselves.
That's a good question. So accountability is something I think but not just man needs, everybody needs. I like to act and feel, what I think. If you don't have any accountability, it's the avenue to lawlessness. If you can just do anything rogue and just do anything with nobody to answer to, like you could just do anything, come down here, talk about old people, people that are disabled, and you don't have anybody that would say, Doug, I saw your podcast, that you can't be making fun of old people and people that have disabilities and less fortunate. That's not cool, right? If you don't have that, you can just go so many. There's no form of correction on the other end. It's a recipe for disaster. So I embrace accountability because if you can't handle correction and criticism, you limit your success. Right. You limit relationships because most seats of power, they are in the position to advise and correct. And coming into that, they don't expect anybody to be different. They expect you to have the same skill set too. So if you come into a sect with people that are in the position of power, judges, doctors, senators, whatever the case may be, somebody with some form of success, and we can even talk about what success looks like, but the form of something that they've been accountable to, they expect accountability. And if you don't have that, it's a recipe for, you know, your own source of knowledge, your own career. You could just do anything. You could just do anything crazy and not have anybody to answer to.
Not have any consequences for your actions.
You just do anything. And this is where our music has failed us. Hip hop has failed us because now we're telling guys that you could just do anything crazy. Sell all the drugs.
It's cool to be crazy. You want to be the savage.
Yeah, but there's no reality in that.
No,
we have to adhere to reality. Some guys can go and do crazy stuff all day and break the law and go home at night. But the majority of us that do that, there's a place called federal vacation that we're gonna go to. Yeah, there's a federal vacation where you get 3 meals a day, and they tell you when to wash and tell you when to go to bed. And that's not something that I want to do with my life, and nobody wants that. That's usually the reality if you break the law. But what our music does is takes the accountability away.
Boy. And they tell you can go out there and do crazy shit. Everything you just talked about, go out there, do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, they embrace it.
Yeah. But it's not reality.
No.
And then it's almost flaming hypocrisy because it's the only the only source, the only road we can take that we can just blame it on. Oh, it's just music.
Right. I've always thought about that too. I remember everyone knows the quote, you are what you eat. I think you are what you listen to.
Wow. Also. I like that.
You know,
I like that.
And if you're feeding like some of that garbage shit, like obviously not all hip hop is bad. Actually, like a lot of hip hop music when I was a teenager, it gave me like self-confidence and a lot of self-esteem. So there is a lot of good things in hip hop music, but there's a lot of garbage stuff out there too. I 100% agree with you.
One of my buddies went to Berkeley. He can talk to somebody for 20 minutes and pinpoint what music they listen to because he studies like the I don't know if it's psychology, but long and short of it is music has that kind of stronghold over you. Like when you, even how articulate you are.
Yeah.
Like if you can't verbalize, like quick story. I had a buddy of mine that asked me for some resources and he wanted to get his business on the runway and try to take off. So he asked me, do I know anybody that knows how to do like 501c3s and tax EIN numbers and like how to fill out just certain
all that business paperwork shit. I don't know anything about that world. I'll be honest. But no, I know what you're saying.
So I go through my phone and I find a guy that I know can do that. So I'm like, oh yeah. And like this is just like me. When you become friends with me, my resources are your resources. I'm not holding nobody back because we're all on the team. Like I'm gonna try my best to always be a blessing. I don't ever want to be a burden to anybody.
Right.
So I get the guy, we sit down, and the dude was just like, oh, is he a young guy? I said, yeah, it's a young guy. He came to men's group to church, and like he's like, I want to help him. He's willing. But the guy, he couldn't articulate his mission. And he kept saying, well, yeah, I'm kind of street, man. It's like, oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And the dude is like, no, I don't know what you're saying, but I want to fund your mission. He don't know that he's sitting next to a millionaire. He don't know, like, the dude is like just waiting for him to articulate it, but he keeps saying, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, I'm kind of street, so I don't know all that stuff. And like how he's talking is a turnoff. So I had to like excuse him, be like, dude, this dude is ready to just fund your whole mission for you. If you gotta you just have to be able to
articulate a few sentences.
Yeah, and if you can't do that, you're probably not ready. Because when people don't understand, when you get in a position of success, not that I have a lot of experience.
Yeah, me neither. Right, but we know other people who are very successful.
But you have to have a certain skill set where you have to be able to articulate certain things. You do well, and like if you have anything with business. Like you're gonna have to talk to a business owner or another bank. You're gonna have to talk to a grant writer. All these things you're gonna have to be able to articulate, but we don't see this, and the music doesn't talk about that stuff. It's just get all the money, buy Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and Fendi, and all the Prada, and all the name
fuck
brand.
As many girls as you can. Yeah.
What's wrong with that? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah. I'm just kidding, man. Let me stop that.
We'll have to edit that part out. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
No, man. People that know that is a joke. That is bad. But so it's like. This is what to answer your question, it's needed. Accountability is very, really needed. That is funny, man. I gotta be careful, but that was funny. That was a joke, everybody. Leave it on. Don't cut that off.
So back to the story, did he end up getting the funding or no?
No, he didn't, because the dude was just like, who is this dude that couldn't talk about a business that he wanted to do for 10 years?
Now, do you think a little bit was just like anxiety on his part? Like he froze up a little bit?
I don't. Here's what I think it is. I think the people around you are not polishing you. Iron sharpens iron, friends sharpen friends. And so when you don't have friends around you to make you, and I was a bad friend that day because I should have screened him before I sat him down, thinking like, don't say this, don't do that, because this dude is willing to just, because he likes to see people with ambition. Like he's spending his life. Where is he? I think he's in Dubai right now.
Okay.
Some guy wanted to do a hookah lounge or whatever.
Nice.
And he went there, go help him do it. And I'm like, this dude just want like to help him, like stuff. It's like, and he knows how to do it. And he just like really turned off when people don't take the time to be able to articulate it. I'm not saying write it out, have a plan and have your blueprint, like have your 3-month success, your 5-month, your year. He's not even asked for that. He just wants you to be able to, okay, I'm going to have this certain pop. It's going to be sweet. And what I want to do is I want to give it to churches, because most churches pop machines are broken. So what I'm trying to do is to articulate. I'm just making them right.
Something simple. Yeah.
He couldn't do that. He couldn't randomly just articulate his whole mission. And he kept saying, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm. It's like, and the dude was like, when I hear your street, that means I can't trust you. You get a pass. You don't have a moral code.
Think about the stereotypes that comes with, I'm street.
Oh, I can answer that.
Yeah.
I can answer that.
Okay.
Normally, it's unaccountable. normally.
Yeah, it is very
You can't,
unaccountable, untrustworthy. I feel like,
yeah, I'm grimy.
Yeah.
I don't have really a moral code just to get money.
I'm all about myself. I think that's going back to the music thing. That a lot of hip hop music, it's so selfish and self-centered. It's like a lot of it's even fuck my friends, it's fuck my families. I'm gonna do me, no matter what. It's the do me mindset.
I always lead with this on everything I go to. First, before anybody gets upset or mad, please, I'm begging, just consider, is there any truth in what I'm saying before there's an offense taken? Because the truth offends. It does. It does. But the music gives us a feminine nature as a man. Men do not brag about what name brand they have on. Yeah. Men don't tell you that they're like that's like they don't. That's
an interesting perspective on it. I like it though. I see where you're going with it.
So like, I was blessed to have solid men around me. And if anybody does have solid, assess how many times the most solid man, go through your phone and say, the most solid man around you, and just figure it out. I'm pretty sure there's somebody has a phone and you can do this exercise and say, okay, who's the most solid man around me? And then you assess, has that man ever told you what name brand he has on? Unless you ask them, like if somebody asks, like, hey, okay, but hey, this is like, that's women do that foolishness. Secondly, not having your emotions intact. You want to kill somebody over what? Because they crossed you, they wronged you over some money. First of all, that's not wise to go tell people that you want to bring violence to them. Actually, it's a crime. Yeah. And then here's the whole thing. It's like, this is what makes it so asinine. The whole concept is hypocritical because gangsters move in complete silence. I don't need to tell you I'm going, like, it's like, what? Hold on. Whoa. What is this? It just irks me to like hear guys like do certain things and say certain things and like no accountability and all this.
It's like they're putting on a front, a complete act of something that they think it's cool. And they've created this image in their own mind of how they view themselves from what other hip hop music's told them, TV, all these things. But deep down inside, they're not any of that.
This just happened to me. A couple weeks ago, I was out to eat and a cousin of mine came up and tapped me on the shoulder and said, can he talk to me? And I was like, yeah, sure. What's going on? He tells me that, hey, man, I am, I was like multitasking. I think I maybe was on my, I know I probably wasn't on my phone, but I was doing like looking around while like, because we were like in a foyer of the restaurant we were at. And so he goes, hey, man, I'm pissed off at you because of something that happened probably 5-10 years ago. He was mad at me because I didn't tell him that his uncle was cheating. Well, his stepdad was cheating on his mom, and they're divorced now. And so he tells me that he's mad. I said, what? This makes no sense, bro. And he's a rapper, by the way. Okay. He's a rapper. So I think that like there's something missing. Like the irrational, there's, when it comes to the music and there has to be some form of delusion and irrationality because you can't think this way as like normal. You can't be like, I can do this and then go home and then I'm on a plane in a yacht with the baddest
with the baddest bitches.
You can't. You can't. I mean, that's not reality. Most time you shoot somebody, there's an investigator that knows, that's smarter than us, right? But anywho, he does this like the tough guy thing, and my moral code is I don't fight family. Like I don't. That's just my moral code. I'm not going to fight my family. I think a man's wisdom is based around how he reasons, and if you result to violence, that means your ability to reasoning is
zero,
and your quality of judgment is bad. Yeah. And so, like, I get it. It's like certain guys, you just have to do. I mean, like, somebody pushed Granny Johnson over, I probably have to lay hands on him, and I'm not praying for him. But like, there's certain avenues where it's like, oh, we can't talk. We could have a conversation. Let's be rational. And then a lot of guys, I noticed too, a lot of guys that don't have a lot of purpose and have nothing to lose. Those are the guys that really are lawless.
Yeah.
When
they got nothing to lose.
Yeah,
when you have nothing to live for, you have nothing to lose.
That's good. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I think that and I'm not saying that about him, but he did like the tough guy thing and wanted to fight, whatever. So I grabbed him and like, brother.
They try to fight you. You're a big dude. You're bigger than me.
And he was little. He's little.
Yeah.
So like I
have little man syndrome.
Yeah, I think I don't know what was going on, but my other aunt came out and told me. Yeah. She said that that was mental illness. That's what she told me after the whole scenario, or whatever. Because all I did was like, are you kidding me? You're mad at me for something that happened in 5, but you've seen me 10, 15 times and you never mentioned this before. Why now? Why today? On it? Like why? It's like it's just weird stuff. And so long and short of it is, he did the tough guy thing. Some guys that are about that life. That were just at this was a Sunday.
Okay.
They were at church and they're God is working on them. Mm-hmm. They ride by and see what's going on. And they get out the car with it. And I'm like, whoa. It's not, it's my cousin. Like, they're like, what you want us to do? Like, it literally there are people are taking out their phone. I'm like, whoa, you know what I'm saying?
World Star, shit like that.
So I went back in the restaurant and I was like, Uncle, what the heck was that about? Like one of my uncles was here from California. And I'm like, well, he was like, what happened? I told him exactly. He's like, that's crazy. Then he comes, so that's over with. 10 minutes later, we're eating. He comes in the restaurant and does the tough guy and calls me all kind of, and I'm like, okay. I just looked at him like it was crazy. The next weekend, my buddy he had a newborn kid, so he sent a group text out, and I was in the group text, which I hate group texts.
Yeah.
He says, man, who's a real one, who's a real friend, come hang out with me. I'm by myself at the bar. No, he's at the bar. He sends a location.
Okay. In a group text to people.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, I feel bad. Nobody's responding. So I was like, I'm going to go.
He did the group text on purpose, I feel like.
Yeah,
that way everyone, because you kind of see like, man, okay, no one else has gone into it.
So long and short of it is, man, this is the end of story. Long and short of it is, I end up going, I find out it's like I don't know what, it's like it's like a concert, it's a bar, and I'm like, I don't like doing these, because it's like, I don't like being those. I walk in there, my cousin. Because
you don't drink, right? Or occasionally, not often?
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Right? I've tried it.
Okay.
So I don't say things not true. So it's like I had to be like I didn't want to be like but I've tried it.
Yeah.
So the place is like so I go in there. My cousin's sitting in there. I walk in there, no tough guy, no nothing, and I'm like. So I'm like, I could be a troublemaker, but it's like, nah, I told my buddy, like, what happened. He's like, oh, what you want? It's like, nah, it's like, let's let it go. But that tough guy happens only when there's only some like, it's like.
When there's somebody watching?
It's flaming it's flaming hypocrisy. And that's what our music has done. Mm-hmm. That's where we have came to, where flaming hypocrisy is okay. It's okay now. No accountability. But that's back to what you were saying. That's why I went on a tangent.
Yeah.
And I do that a lot. We might have like 4 or 5
it's okay. There's good there's always a story that can relate to, so many like examples of accountability and how certain individuals aren't exercising any.
Yeah.
And you just provided a good example of one.
Yeah, but yeah.
And and tying into music is really interesting. And you're right. It's to me, it's really bizarre. Not only with when people are walking around with like Gucci and Louis and shit like that. I just think like any brand. When I go out and buy clothes, I don't like to wear like branded when you're like a billboard for someone, Yeah,
I mean, to each his own. I mean, I think it's good to have good taste and preferences. But what I was getting at with my point is like bragging is I like humility. I like humble. I'd rather somebody else compliment me. Then I don't really need no compliment, but I don't need to tell you.
It's almost like you're fishing for compliments when you're wearing all the shit. Like,
yeah. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love name brands. I love people. I love like cologne. I love it. But my point is that when you have to broadcast that, you're the best shooter that in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm skeptical. Klay Thompson doesn't walk in the gym. Curry doesn't walk in the gym and say, I'm the best shooter in the world. You can't leave me open, guys. You better not leave me. You better not leave me open. I got unlimited range. He's just going to walk in the gym and you can't.
He's going to start shooting.
Yeah. And then you're going to realize like,
I can't leave him.
we can't leave this dude right here,
Yep.
especially in the corners. Oh man, get him out of that corner. And that's my point. So it's like those principles apply everywhere. We can't negate those principles just because music. Like no, it's like these are principles.
Yeah.
And when we start talking about dating, that's gonna get really good.
Yeah.
Because I got some principles. I'm gonna have so much.
I'm ready for what music do you listen to? Now I'm curious.
I'll
say right now. See, I'm a big EDM guy, electronic dance music. I love that shit.
Send me some of that.
Yeah. I'll send you some really good ones.
So my whole motto is I like to experience life. I just did something a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna answer your question.
Okay.
I'm trying to that I never did before. I went we could actually put a picture up if we can of I did tubing on the boat.
On the boat, okay.
Yeah.
Like you were you laying on your stomach and holding like this?
Yeah. I was laying on my stomach.
Yeah, I've done that before. It's fun. When I went there, fucking the dude was when you're fucking taking some turns, dude. Yeah. You're fucking. I'm holding on for dear life and on that thing. But man, that's fun.
Yeah. It was like a. Let me see if I got a good one. Yeah, it's right here. So I'll show you this. I listened to. That's what I did.
Okay. Nice. Here, try to show that camera a little bit on there. There you go. Yeah, they can see it.
Yeah,
nice.
That's what I did. And I know nobody's gonna believe this. I might sound like I'm gonna lose credibility when I say this. I know a little bit, but it's mildly a joke. There's sharks in Lake Minnetonka, man.
No way.
No.
No way.
No, there's not sharks. There's not sharks. It's a joke.
Okay. You had me going for a second.
But there was a species I'd never seen before that was really big that grazed my leg in that water.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this? What is this? Yeah. It was big, man. And I know there are no sharks in there, but music I listen to is you said you listen to EDM.
I listen to EDM, but I listen to a lot of rap music too. I listen to a lot of hip hop music when I was growing up, early 2000s, mid 2000s.
So to piggyback on what you're saying, the reason why I'm careful, and this is just my growth period. When I listen to hip hop, there comes a sense of like very proud haughtiness. Yeah. And with what I do, with what my success depends on, is my humility. Yes. So I love reggae. I love gospel. I love classical. I love jazz. I love R&B. I love happy music. I love anything uplifting. I love anything I can play. I play. So like I'm broad with my music. I've been listening to a lot of Oriental. I've been listening to a lot of like French soft music. A woman introduced me to it, and that's like, And I listen to pretty much anything that's not a lot of swearing and a lot of toxic behavior or degrading of women. Like, get it. I understand, you're going out, you want to have some of it's
music. Just party music, and I get that. You throw in like Gucci Gang by Lil Pump, or just something that really ignorant. Lil Pump. I'll pull up a picture of him. Have you heard of Lil Pump?
Nah, man.
Like Gucci Gang, that's one of those songs. Like it's so just ignorant, toxic, everything we're talked about. But I love it though. I view it as like, say if I'm on my way to the gym, or me and my boys are going out to a party. It's kind of just like that pump up party song. Okay, I don't know if I can.
It's all these little somebody.
Yeah,
everybody's little.
Until
he could be 6'8". Yeah. 320 and it's
little or young. Once they all get in their 30s, they go from little to young.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's good to know that.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I know because he was growing up. I listened to a lot of Young Jeezy. He was really big. Yeah, Young Jeezy coming up.
Was he Lil Jeezy?
No, he was Young Jeezy. Okay. But now he's just Jeezy.
So what happens when you get fit? He gonna be G's?
Yeah.
So every 10 years you got to be like, so little, young, and then G's. Who is it?
There you go. This is Lil Pump. That's what I wanted to show you. He's got a song.
What's his name?
Lil Pump.
Oh, they said Lil Pump.
Pump. No, Pump. P-U-M-P.
Oh, Pump. Okay.
He's one of those like new school modern rappers, SoundCloud.
Who's this guy right there? Wait, no, right, no, close, go up.
Up.
Right here. Who's that?
Oh, that's yeah. You know who that is.
I know who that is.
Everyone knows who that is.
I know.
Dude, I must say though, okay, Tekashi, he's got a
Entertaining, man. I don't want to touch on that, but
no, I want to.
yeah, we can't. No conversation.
No, just real quick. He has a Hulu documentary. At least he did.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty good. I like his documentary. Yeah. I don't agree with a lot of his morals and principles and whatnot, but
okay.
I do respect the hustle and the grind that he had from what we were talking about, how at the beginning, where I was like, it's some people are dealt better hand than others, but everyone has the same opportunity to go out and get it. Yeah. He was not dealt a good hand. I was dealt a better hand in life than he was. And look, dude's obviously got way more fucking money than I do.
But what does that mean though?
Yeah.
So I think that's problematic when we
start measuring money with success, or success with money.
Because rich is not how much money you have, it's what you don't need.
I like that.
If you have relationships, if you have, let's say, the governor's ear or the mayor's ear, or
any politician's ear, senator's ear, Congress, if
you have their ear, you don't need $1 million. Or if you have access to stuff, that boat I was on, that's not my boat. But I'm pretty sure if I send a text and say you want to go on a boat right now, it's a hard yes. Not just like it's a hard yes because it's like I did a funeral and said, look, you don't owe me nothing. I knew the family had a burden. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't owe me nothing. But like they called me like, hey, remember that funeral you did 6 years ago? We got a boat. You want to go? Yeah. We got a girlfriend. You want to come bring a date? Yeah. What funeral? Remember? They had to really refresh my memory about this. I'm like, oh, okay. But my point is that you don't need a relationship is the currency of life. Relationship is the currency of life. Like we think money is the currency of life, but no.
Money's just the currency. It's the currency of business. Yeah. The currency of the economy, but it's not the currency of life.
It's not. Relationship is. And if you enjoy life with no relationship, your life's going to suck. So it's so crazy because I get pissed off a lot of times when I hear even preachers say, "Yeah, I just keep to myself. I don't need to be around people. I don't like people. I'm a loner and everything." It's like, whoa! That's not what Jesus embraced. Mm-hmm. He embraced relationship with everybody. He's the savior of the world. He didn't just go isolate. He did go isolated for a couple of times, but normally when you hear talk about Jesus, there are people around him because he likes people, because he's friendly, because he's welcoming, because he understands relationship. And that's what the church is not doing. And this is why you got all the people saying like, I don't do no church. I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. All these foolishness of like, hey, that's no accountability too when somebody doesn't want any form of like order in their life. And that's one thing I love about this podcast. We can go all over the place and then get back to where we started. Yeah. But music,
that's an art in doing that shit.
It is. Music is a good therapeutic thing for me.
Yeah. It is for everyone. There's something really just spiritual about music.
Yeah. So, do you play or anything?
I don't. Okay. But I never got in. I mean, I played band when I was in like middle school, but I always say like doing the podcast is kind of my form of music, but I would say more so art. Like of art, creative form. Yeah. And I think people like
whether you know how to do that. I don't even know what that is. That looks fun.
It's just a video switch.
Oh, okay. That's what you're doing. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's only two.
Yep. I have more buttons on here if we had more cameras.
Okay.
But it helps with my ADHD.
But I saw another view though. What's another? There's another view.
Oh yeah, that was the one I have to click this and we want to pull up Tekashi there.
No. There was another view where it was like, okay, maybe I could be wrong.
Maybe the last one. I switched it up a little bit a few times.
But it's cool. So you can.
But anyways, I was going to whether you're making music, whether you're writing, whether you're reading, whether you're painting, whether you're doing podcasts, I think everyone should have some way to exercise that kind of that creative part of their brain. Yeah, I think it's very important, actually.
Yeah. I think we all no individuals are the same, and that's the awesome thing about God. He makes all of us different and unique, and like we're all different in our own ways, and we embrace it. But we got to get to this place place where there's no cancel culture. I'm looking forward to those two conversations.
We can get into it right now. Because I was talking to Joseph just this week. Some local news here: Dave Chappelle got canceled over at First Avenue. For real quick, for anyone who's listening to this, it's not from Minnesota. First Avenue has so much history in Minneapolis, here in the Midwest. It's iconic. It's so historic. It's rich with Prince. And just when you go back, I'm not sure how long, because I could look up maybe the 70s, 80s when Prince is alive, man. And just there's a lot of history, and it's an infamous music venue here. Yeah,
it is. In Minnesota, I'm pretty well traveled.
Yeah.
Minnesota is such an awesome place, man. We have everything. Shout out to all of my brothers in Philly and like I my second home, but Minnesota is just like it's just so amazing. It's like you have Cali and you have like Texas, like all those Louisiana and all those different areas. But we have, and you can drive around and you can know you're there, right? You know you're in Louisiana, you know you're in Texas, you know you're in Philly, you know you're in DC, you know you're in Boston, New York when you drive around. But we have like Edina, we have St. Paul, we have downtown St. Paul, we have downtown Minneapolis, we have the East Side, we have all these different suburbs, Minnetonka, Eden Prairie, and it looks different every place. Like we got St. Anthony, all these different phenomenal places, phenomenal restaurants, live music every night. Somebody like you can go to live music every night if you knew where to go. I go every night. There's somewhere live music is playing. That's free. That's free. There's comedy 4 nights a week that I know about. There's comedy clubs 4 nights a week. I mean, that's amazing. Like, and like most of this stuff is free. We have all these lakes. We have all these different...
We have a lot of culture here too. Like, especially when it comes to food. I'm like, you'd be amazed how many different types of like ethnic restaurants we have around here. And it's really fucking good too. I say we're very rich when it comes to just food and bars and restaurants here.
Yeah. I mean, like Minnesota is it's an amazing place. And like, even my parents lived in Vegas for some years, and like you go there 3 days, it's like you're tired of it. I think I've heard anybody say I'm tired of Minnesota other than the cold.
Yeah, that's the only thing that keeps people away from the cold. Yeah,
like they're like, we got the mall, we got 4 teams. That's amazing itself. Like we got 4 teams, we got every team.
Yeah,
and like most of them, I mean, we're praying for the Vikings. I don't know.
We are.
I got to vent for a minute.
Yes.
I need
Please
to do
to get it off your chest. That's what this podcast is about. That's what it's about. It's getting shit off your chest.
What the heck, Minnesota Timber? What are y'all doing?
Yeah,
I just needed to get this off my chest. This has been bothering me for a couple nights. I lost sleep over this foolishness. You guys, whoever did this needs to be reprimanded and accountability. I don't know. I played ball. This makes no sense. They got rid of our leader, Patrick Beverly. Got rid of our bench scoring and our rebounding for a guy that displays the same position as our franchise player.
And 4 first-round draft picks, right?
So that's what
that's the kick in the ass.
What are y'all doing? This trade made no sense. And then paid him that much when all these other guys out there like no.
So we lost. We traded a total of 6 players, right?
I don't know.
I can look it up. Look it up.
So Patrick Beverly is our leader. Like that was our leader. That was our like. Get rid of our leader.
He won the play-in for us. Basically.
Yes, he did. And
we got rid of him.
So we got rid. So I'm like, you get rid of our leader, you get rid of our rebounding, you get rid of our bench scoring for a guy that's gonna be in the way.
Rudy Gobert.
I like his like he dunks and he blocks shots. He can dunk, block shots, and shoot threes. That's not the piece we needed. That's not the piece we needed. I thought somebody was playing on my phone when somebody sent me that. I said, don't play like what? Like what? Who did this? And I'm a diehard Wolves fan.
Okay, here we go. Here's everything we gave from him. Announced the team had acquired center Rudy Gobert from the Utah Jazz in exchange for guards Patrick Beverly, Malik Beasley, and forward Jared Vanderbilt. Yeah. Along with guard Leonardo Omaro. I'm saying that.
I don't know who that is.
and the draft rights to center Walker Kessler and Minnesota's 2023, 2025, 2027, and wait, 2029 first round picks and a 2026 first round pick swap. It's just like, now I watch the Timberwolves, but I wouldn't say like I know a lot about basketball. But even me reading that just sounds like way fucking too much for one guy. Now, if we were to get someone like, I don't know, Kevin Durant or Steph Curry, that's like, okay, you can't put a price tag on some of like those top players.
Yeah, they just.
What do you think? Is this Rudy Gobert? Is he the real deal? Is he worth all that?
No, he's not worth that.
He's not worth that. Okay,
but that they didn't really get. I mean, and like I don't want nobody to be. I mean, they're professionals, so I don't care if I feel professional athletes. You got to deal with it because everybody's talking about it, and so. That wasn't a wise move for what we did and what we accomplished. I think we could have beat Memphis. I think we made some bad coaching decisions. I think that when they make a run of 10, rule of thumb, a team makes a run 11-0, you got to call timeout. You got to make an adjustment somewhere, timeout, even just to piss off the refs or the momentum, like to just
ice things out. So when their team's hot,
just things happen. What's his name? The guy, J-Mac. He came and played well, and then they went back with D'Angelo, and D'Angelo had some critical turnovers. When J-Mac, he changed the game. He was going to the basket. He was too quick. And he was penetrating. And it was bothering their defense. And I'm watching the game from a pro standpoint. I'm not just looking at the game. I'm looking at like how body.
Especially you coaching basketball too. You're watching it differently than someone that just sitting at the bar drinking a beer.
So when J-Mac was doing that, if you can go replay that game, look at the body language of the coaches and the guard. They didn't have an answer for that. They didn't even see that. Like they didn't even see. He was just like, man, this dude. How do we? Because they didn't prepare for this dude because he wasn't playing in the series. So he got in the game. The game that we should have won, and he was getting wherever he wanted. He was making his shots. He was making his free throws. He was penetrating. He was causing havoc. Then they I love D'Angelo, but D'Angelo was careless with the ball when J-Mac was really giving us an avenue that we never had, and they didn't see this animal before. A quick guy that's getting in the lane, that's making the right decision, and not only was he doing that, he was making free throws too. So like if they would have kept him in the game, I think we would have went on and played the next round, and that would have been a success for last year. But now we're starting. I think we could be better though.
I'm glad I heard your perspective on it because of some of my buddies who are also big T-Wolves fan, they thought this trade was an awesome deal. They're like, we're going further in the playoffs with this.
Well, here's the thing. So Towns is going to really be embraced to shoot more threes. I don't know if I like that. Because now he's gonna get comfortable shooting three. He's 7 feet tall. And I stood next to him and where I was in Uptown. I stood next to him. He's really 7 feet tall.
Okay.
So with that kind of body on him, we don't need really a guy 7'3" and a 7 foot guy. That's really not needed. And people got to understand, basketball is more of a faster game. Curry has evolved. Like so, it's guards. Now, it's more guards shooting threes and going up and down. It's not like how back when Jordan was playing and Karl Malone and Barkley back down, post up, and guys do that.
The big man underneath now.
Like
it's a lot more of the game's evolving. It's a lot more of a shooting game now. I feel like you have a lot more shooters. Same thing with football. I've noticed it's a lot more of a passing game than of old school. Get some big boys up front, run the ball, play action, pass.
And then like the guys, They made the game more fast. They made the game faster. Like you're getting 150, 160 points. Like it's like an all-star game. Teams are scoring 120 easy. Back in MJ days, it's like 88, 92 was a good game. Now you're like, wow.
When over 100 was rare. It was like, wow, they scored over 100 points that game.
And like I would love to do I got a guy that he's got a list of basketball players that he's got on this list of greatest of all time. But I really want to do the list, and it's going to make a lot of people mad. But as far as
we can make a tier list. They have tier lists up here, like S tier being top A, B, C, D, F. One of these days, I'll get it set up. I'll get the tier, and I'll let you go through it. And it's going to piss a lot of people off. But I'm going strictly on this. Like somebody said, like the Bob Cousy era, George Mikan is in the top 100. It's like, no.
like when you start looking at like the McGrady's and the Ginobili's and guys that we're just talking about skill set, not career, not accolades, and you tell me a guy that can dribble, shoot this good is not on the list because of statistics back in 60s when everybody like Wilt Chamberlain was good, but he would have been like a JaVale McGee type of guy because
today's
you're playing against guys 6'6", 6'8". You're not facing the Dwight Howard,
the freaks of nature.
You're
that
not.
now.
Yeah. And so like they're comparing his 100 then when guys on him are like 6'4", like they're not 7. You're not playing against a bunch of 7 foot. You're the biggest, fastest, strongest thing on the court every time. Yeah, you're gonna get it. Like so, and then you could tell skill set. Like he can like just imagine him trying to guard a Durant with a handle, a hesitation, range.
Yeah.
Like no, and like we're putting all these guys in the old days up against these skilled guys like Durant, AD, Giannis, they with a handle. It's no comparison. Like it's not a video. This is not a video game. Like you can't take their stats back then and dump now. No. There's like there are some guys that probably would have been good in every era. Like I think Stockton, Nash, Isaiah Thomas probably would have been good in this era because of his handle, his quickness. You got some guys that will fall in, but the majority of guys couldn't play with these guys.
No,
like it's just not. The people are not adhering to reality. Like let's look at the skill set. Like look how Chris's handle is, his mechanics on his jump shot, his court vision, his body, like his jumping ability. Like no, today these are freaks. Like these guys are jumping.
They're getting fucking just breeded at a young age. Honestly, some of these guys just as soon as they
go watch a Bob
life.
Cousy game. Go watch a Bob Cousy game of how they move and how they play D, and like how they were like with the ball and like how their crossover was, and then go look at a game from like the 80s. Then go look at a game from the Iverson.
It looks a lot slower back then. When you watch those old games, like it feels like
look at
they're
their
moving
jump
a lot
shot.
slower.
It's like they like ain't nobody got like,
and they got those short shorts on. That's one thing.
No. They're doing that again though. They're doing that. They're doing that again. They're doing the short
thing back.
Yes, man. Their shorts are like everything is getting tighter and shorter for guys. I don't know. We'll talk about that.
I don't like that. Yeah. Personally.
It's like this is what this world we live in, man.
It is.
But change is good. But when we start getting into change that takes the organic nature out of like male and female, like I got a question. Like, what is that? Okay, he has that outfit on. Like, is that a dress or is that a?
And you can't say anything to them because it's all about making a safe space nowadays and making people feel comfortable.
That makes us weaker, though.
Yeah, it does. And like, I can segue that into this just with Dave Chappelle here coming up. So this is the article of it. So he was supposed to perform at First Avenue. This is just yesterday, actually. He was supposed to perform on Wednesday. Several hours before Chappelle was supposed to perform at First Avenue decided to cancel the show. So this is an article that I'm reading. It's from NPRnews.org. Chappelle has a reputation of mocking transgender people in his stand-up routines, which critics say has no place in a venue that's LGBTQ owned, hosts annual pride parties, and sells branded merch with rainbow accents in June. Along with the cancellation news, First Avenue, which owns and operates 5 other Twin Cities venues, shared an apology statement on the booking via Facebook and Twitter on Wednesday afternoon, saying it lost sight of the impact this would have. NPR News spoke with First Avenue employees who said a vast majority of its event staff who work security, take tickets, serve drinks, and other duties are within the LGBTQ plus community, that they remain angry and hurt by the club booking Chappelle in the first place. It's really a slap in the face to a lot of employees. They say that the companies hang up queer flags in June and burn them in July. And that's exactly what it feels like First Avenue is doing right now, said Spencer Goswish, if I'm saying that correctly, who is trans feminine and has worked First Avenue events for almost a year.
Well, okay, what is trans feminine?
I would say I think that's biological male, trans female.
Trans feminine.
Trans feminine. Trans femme.
What is that? What is it? Okay, so is that a girl that you talk to?
So that's a guy who is portraying to be a girl.
Well, Jesus gay.
It's okay. Here's the way I look at it. You know, I'm all about accepting people for whoever they are. There's some men that have more feminine brains, and there's some females that have more masculine brains. But
correct.
But you're still a female, or you're still a male at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. So all right, that's good.
I want to say something just real quick about Dave Chappelle. The beautiful thing about comedy is nobody is safe. Everyone deserves to get made fun of equally.
That's the
beautiful thing about comedy.
That's what I was going to lead with, but you beat me to it. Okay. So okay. Ladies and gentlemen, a comedian means they tell jokes to make people laugh. It's not. It could be not serious. It could be serious. Like their job is to make people laugh. If you get offended from a joke, then I think there's another source to your problem. So I'm not just saying because I'm a fan of Dave Chappelle, but like now we're altering this man's occupation because he's known for doing something. I think he hates people that like the same gender. No, I think that he's exercising his rights. What that kind of stuff does, it makes us question: does our country have integrity? Because if we're home of the free and land of the brave and liberty of freedom of speech, and this is why I always lead with, please consider is there a truth in what I'm saying. I can take correction. I'm humble enough to say, I'll get back on here and say, I'm sorry I was wrong. I can do that. Like, I can't be, nobody's always right.
Right.
And I don't want to be around a person that thinks that they are always right. But let's hear me out. If we're exercising our rights, that we have this amazing country where there's freedom of speech. If somebody wants to be Hindu and then leave Hindu and go to Islam, and then if they leave Islam and go to Scientology, and they leave Scientology and want to go to Mormonism, and then they leave Mormonism and want to come to Jesus Christ, like how I did that.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about this country. They can do that. If I want to say, look, I think I'm an NBA player. I want to work hard and be an NBA player. That my destiny's in my own hands. I gotta eat right, work out, get a good jump shot, get a good handle, play D really good, work on my jumping, work on my leadership skills, and I can get there if I don't do that. That's the wonderful thing about this country. So when you're stripping somebody of their freedom of speech and they can't say something and they can't exercise their gift, that's wrong. As somebody that sits in the capacity correction has to know that that's wrong and not saying that. Now that I have to question the leadership now. If am I wrong? Is this land of the free, home of the brave? Do we have freedom?
It is, but a lot of people they don't like Americans don't like their own country anymore, dude. They think I always think it's funny. I saw an interesting post this is a while back now. My friend posted how whenever he sees someone like with an American flag in the front yard or maybe like on their truck, he goes, man, look at that racist. I swear we're the only country that does that. Where people who are really patriotic, there's like this stereotype that they're stuck in the past. They're a product of the past. Yeah. They're so patriotic that they're living in these old ways, and they're not with, all these multiple genders and their cancer culture and telling people what they can and cannot say and whatnot.
And in a couple years, though, and I would say people are going to be able to marry their dog and have sex with their niece.
No, it's funny that you say that. Well, not disturbing, but funny because one of my good friends, he says the same thing, that this whole, I don't care if you're a guy and you're into guys, if you're girls are into girls, but my friend good thinks that
more for you, huh?
What's that? Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But my buddy's saying like he does believe that a lot of the same-sex marriage and this cancer culture stuff, it's baby steps into like to having sex with kids and having sex with animals and all sorts of shit. Yeah. So it does make you think. I don't know.
Yeah. I think like this is going to groom them for the next thing to come. And this kind of stuff doesn't just get better and be like, okay, we're done now. Yeah. It never has. That's not how human beings work. We continually evolve. We continually try to, like, somebody put a microphone on a thing and say, okay, now we have a microphone. Somebody looked through something. Now we have a computer. I can see myself while I'm talking to you in Germany and things like that. So my point is that we evolve. We keep evolving. So this thing is not going to stop because we allow somebody to be a gender change. Like it's going to be somebody saying, I'm a cat.
Yeah.
I meow. Exactly. I think I'm a cat. I want you to address me as a cat.
Yeah.
And you got to be like, oh, well, I guess I got to, or else I'm going to get fired from my job because of that's that's the direction we're heading.
Yeah.
And that's scary.
It is.
Because other countries are thinking we're like, these Americans are, what's going on over here?
Fucking weird. Yeah. And pretty soon, like my buddy had an example. My buddy goes, you're going to be able to identify yourself as a kid. And then you're going to be able to have sex with kids. And then they're going to be like, well, this person identifies with kids, so you might as well make it so you can have sex when you're 10 years old, with people. I know that sounds radical, dude, but with the way the world is going, like nothing, I wouldn't put it past any of these fucking people anymore, dude.
Yeah,
like,
this world is nuts, man. This world is nuts, man. It's like somebody says somebody did something. It's like, who did what? And you just got to be like, okay, he did that. I didn't. Okay. It's like nothing is a surprise in today's society anymore. Like with scandals and all these things and all these different things. Yeah. But back on the Chappelle
back
thing,
to the and like the owner is it said the owner is LGBTQ, and
that was wrong though because they should not have waited till that's unprofessional.
Yeah, the day of hours before.
That means you knew you were gonna do that.
Right.
You knew you were gonna do that. You don't. When you get into owning things like First Avenues, you're wise enough to know 2-3 days out what the plan is, who's going to be there. So that
I think they just got cold feet though last minute, and they just finally gave in to all the emails. What I think I don't like about it is like it sounds like to me that they gave in to the cancel culture. They booked them in advance. They knew they're like whatever, we don't care. But then the emails came in. Now you got people outside. You're holding up signs and shit. Now you said your coaches are saying, "Oh, I don't feel safe in being in the room as Dave Chappelle and whatnot." And then you get all this weight on your shoulders. And then you feel like you have to give in to this cancer culture. But to me, that just says that, like, you're giving them power over you. So they go, okay, we can cancel Dave Chappelle. Now we can do that to get whatever we want.
Yeah, this cancel culture is not really good for humanity because it doesn't take us to a strong unit. Yeah. What it does, it makes us weak because we can't handle adversity. And when we face it, it's a shutdown thing. And that's kind of... that's really what's going on with dating nowadays, where when faced with adversity or a dilemma, you've been canceling and not dealing with it and running for so long that when it does come, you're like, oh, never mind, deuces. No, can't do this. And that's not ever going to be a strong individual because you're going to have to overcome something. Mm-hmm. Success is based off what you overcome. Yeah. A relationship, business, whatever, like, you just don't get it overnight. And then fast success doesn't last long. Everybody wants the celebrity iconic relationship where everybody knows they're successful, they're rich, they're good looking, they're fit, they're all this stuff. But that's not reality. That's not reality. And this is what the media puts out there for us to grasp. This is why the phones and the tablets and all these things. We're glued. Like
I respect you for not getting on social media or any of those things and not connecting to the gadgets.
No, I can't do that. Partly because my success, you've never seen. One day you'll see me at work. My memory is my strength, and when you cloud it with other things and
just all that garbage too, you cloud it with just fucking garbage.
Let me show you what I mean. Pick a gospel.
See, I couldn't even name one.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John.
Okay. Do Luther.
Matthew, Luke.
Luke. Yeah, sorry.
Pick anything from there's 24, 1 to 24. Pick a number between
17. So Luke 17.
That is Jesus is about to go, and Zacchaeus is 19. Before that, he's teaching.
Okay.
He's teaching just the disciples about how to be when his departure comes.
Should we look it up?
You can. He's teaching.
So we're going.
Jesus is teaching in 17.
Luke 17.
He's teaching. What is he teaching?
Okay, so we looked up Gospel, Luke 17, Bible Gateway.
Yeah, look at it. And I didn't.
We'll just click in the first thing that comes up.
Read it.
Jesus said to his disciples, things that cause people to stumble are bound to come, but woe to anyone through whom they come. It would be better for them to be thrown into the sea. Yeah.
But my point was, I gave a vague answer. I knew he was teaching. because I got it memorized. I have all the gospels memorized.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good.
But here's the kicker: if I have social media, if I have any kind of stuff that's going to deter my mind from remembering what happened in every chapter, I got to know, because if I'm put on the spot, that's my I'm not Tola Morgan, Newell Jones, T.D. Jakes, and all these good preachers around. I'm not but I can beat them with memory. They're walking up with a bunch of notes. So I had to find a string. Just like I had personal convictions because I dedicated my life to basketball. Yeah. My body, my time, my studying was like, okay, do I jab this dude here? Do I pump fake him here? Is my head fake, my thumb over my eyebrow? Am I selling my shot fakes? Am I selling my jab stuff? And so I applied all those principles with preparation for sermon. So I know, like, okay, I need work in these areas. What can be my strength? Yeah. My memory. I know the story. Somebody guys have this running joke. My close friends we were walking in the mall and they'll be like, what happened in Matthew chapter 14? Right. Okay. Let me go in my life. And it's like, that's fun. Yeah. But I know all of it. I know in every chapter of all the gospels, I know I know the story. Like, I can prove it to you, but it's like, we don't want to just come hear me work. If I have social media, Twitter, Facebook, I don't know. People's like, stop saying MySpace. Well,
Truth Social. That's Donald Trump said he made.
Oh my God.
He made one called Truth Social. It just launched a few months ago because he got banned on Twitter. So he's like, fuck you guys, I'll make my own.
That is funny, man. Yeah. That is funny. God bless him. But that's why I don't. And I don't knock people that have it, but I can't have it because my memory has to be polished. As what if I would have been wrong just now?
I don't know. I wouldn't have judged you for it. No. I know what you mean, though.
No. But I'm confident. I can tell you, pick the gospel, and I'm about to tell you what's going on in that chapter. And what, because Matthew has 28 chapters, Luke has 24, John has 21, Mark has 16. So for 2 Easters, as a matter of fact, one of my nephews challenged me to can you know them all though? I did Mark one Easter. I just memorized the whole gospel and then gave it to him.
And recited it to him.
Yeah. Because it's I got to do something different against people that come to church once a year. And so my nephew was just like, what if somebody knew all the gospels? And I was just like,
yeah. You're like, and you're like, just raise your hand in class,
So it's like I can't have no social media because of that. I'll probably get a social media once I have the Bible memorized.
That's good. And you don't get lost in the lives of celebrities either doing that. I don't know if you even heard, there was that Johnny Depp on trial with Amber Heard a few months ago, and people, man, on social media, they just got consumed by this trial. And it was just over a celebrity. And I'm just thinking man, people just it's so easy for them to get lost in the life of celebrities instead of getting lost in themselves. You know?
Yeah. And you can't work on your craft. You got I don't want to sound arrogant or humble, but I know when you put the time and work in, you're going to have success, and people are going to yearn for your gift's going to make room for you. I'm not threatened by any preacher because I don't know anybody that can do what I do. I don't know anybody that can do that. Yeah. So then I'm not knocking anybody that can't. I want you to know
but that's just a special skill set you have.
But if I have you got to be able to take away something. I want social media. I want to look at people's lives and weekends and your old teammates and trash talk.
You could put that picture of you on the tube on yours.
Well, I would if I had one, but I don't have one. But it's a blessing not to have one because I could build relationships without it. I think your real friends are people that you can call and you know what's in their fridge. You've been to their house, date with them. We say friend, and I'm not a fan of there was a guy, God rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. Do you know who that is?
I don't.
Wow.
To be honest, yeah.
Okay. That's a whole conversation. As a matter of fact, you can make a whole podcast about that guy.
What do you want?
Anywho, I didn't like that he was asking for I don't like this. Get in the comments, like this, like my video. It's ooh, I don't know if I could be doing that. Yeah. But I get it. It's things got algorithms and things that.
It feels so grimy. People just, and it sucks that they get so obsessed with their numbers and their followers and subscribers, and they take that and they pimp them out to fucking advertisements. And they pimp them out to people too. Women,
Yeah.
hey, look how much following I have on Instagram.
Yeah. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What do you think about today's dating world?
So I think it's okay. So it's hard for me a little bit for me to answer just because I've been in a serious relationship now for over 2 years. So
You're still with girls?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm still
okay.
since the last one. I'm still with the same chick. So it's been a while since I've been in the dating world now.
Good.
You know,
God bless you.
But before her though, because the girl I dated before her, I actually met her on Tinder. So I was on the online dating. I don't know if you ever tried any of that at all. Online dating? Have you made any dating apps?
I can't do that.
I feel like a lot of from my experience when I was single and, out there mingling, it's a lot of ghosting. People don't...
Ghosting?
Yeah. It's like they just stop responding to you.
That's kind of
like you'll
rude.
be having a conversation. You'll be talking for a while or maybe even go on a couple dates. And then all of a sudden, this person, they'll disappear. That's why it's called ghosting. They won't give you any reason why they stopped talking to you.
Yeah, man, I feel like an old head, man, because when I talk to young people, stuff like that, it's like, what? That's rude.
Yeah.
Like, wow, what?
That is...
You say, wait, I get it, like text messaging, and they go, like, they...
But no, dude, I had a girl, this is how she broke up with me.
Okay.
This was a while ago. But this is how we broke up together. Okay, we didn't meet online. We met through a mutual friend, actually. But we didn't really vibe on a mental level. I feel like true love. You guys
love.
are,
Ooh,
yeah.
Love.
No, I feel like big words.
Love.
I feel like true love. It requires like a mental connection, a physical, and a spiritual.
Ooh, I like that.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
We just had a physical. We just had that lust. We didn't have any. We weren't vibing mentally. Yeah, or spiritual. So this relationship didn't last long, right? But this is how she broke up with me one day. She came over to my house. We were hanging out down here for a little bit.
It kind of smelled. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Don't worry, I sanitized everything.
Oh, man, what is this on my
I thought there was something sticky under this table.
Oh, man, I thought it was like, man, what is this? Who's under? Oh, man.
No, so we were hanging out down here, whatever, and we were like kind of like going through some problems. We ended up talking about it, working it out. So I had thought, at least. She leaves. And then like an hour later, bro, I get a text message saying, sorry, I just can't do this anymore or something like that. And then I'm just blocked on everything.
Hold on, wait. Okay, I was listening, but I missed the piece.
Yeah.
You said she was here.
So she was here. We talked, hung out. I thought everything's all good. Right? Okay,
you guys experience each other.
She leaves.
You guys experience each other.
We experience each other.
Okay, you like how I articulated that?
Yeah. We experienced each other. We talked, we hung out, and then she had to get going. She had a daughter. I think she had to go pick up a kid or whatever.
Ooh,
so
your dad of the year, your
stepdad of the year.
Okay.
So she leaves, and then I'm thinking everything's all good, No. Then she breaks up with me over text message.
How long after she leaves the house?
Probably within like an hour. It was relatively short. Within an hour.
You did something.
I did something. And
you
then
were a side dude.
She breaks with me over, probably, and then I'm blocked on everything after that. But that's just
how was the conversation when y'all departed though?
Shitty. But that's the thing. We didn't have that mental connection.
So you guys had a quarrel.
Yeah, we had a call. Yeah.
Okay, so
we didn't have a good.
Well, that's not really ghosting, is it? If it's like when you said ghosted, I thought you meant like, hey, man, like me and you talking, like, oh, yeah, and then it's like,
no, it kind of is like breaking up with over text, but there is ghosting too, though. Ghosting does happen a lot. Like that was someone who I was actually in a relationship for like 3-4 months with, so it's a very short-term relationship. Yeah. I felt like she kind of ghosted me the way she broke up with me. Now there was a lot of little like flings that I had specifically with people I met, like girls I was talking to on Tinder. Not even ones that I like hooked up with, you know what I mean? But those are the ones that they feel they don't need to put in the energy or the time to tell this person why I don't like you or why I don't fuck with you. I'm just going to stop responding to you because it's easier for them. I think it's more comfortable for people to just ignore the problem instead of addressing the problem.
Yeah, it is easier. I mean, that's the cancel culture we live in. That is a norm for like people to have quarrel. Yeah. And then say, I can't, I'm done. And that's what makes it so difficult with dating, because you want to invest, you want to give yourself, you want to be vulnerable, you want to be empathetic, you want to be compassionate, you want to bring all those elements that you have inside of you, but then you put it out there and have everything, here you go. and then somebody like experience it and like, I don't want that no more. You leave with a sense of neglect and abandonment that is not healthy for the next relationship. And that's why overall, if everybody's doing it, that's going to be the expectation for a relationship. And now what happens when you get real things happening like deaths and somebody has cancer and somebody does step out, it's no foundation where we can overcome it. Because we can't even handle, like, I like peanut butter and jelly, you like ham and cheese.
Yeah, we can't even address those small issues.
You eat pork. Oh, I can't do it. That's like, what the heck? We got to be able to have a conversation. But now, I'll be honest, brother. I've been entertaining myself with conversation with young people about like their mindset about dating. It's so delusional.
Yeah. And I think we could tie that back a lot to music nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, and like, especially from, I don't know, from a guy's standpoint, you know, it's like you're always chasing the next better chick. You're always chasing the next hotter girl. That's what it's kind of teaching you.
We want to do address the women, though, too. They hold them accountable.
No, we do. Absolutely.
Because they're saying they don't need no man. And once a guy hears that, it's like, okay. So this is one philosophy I came up with. Women can friend zone. Men can fun zone.
Okay. I like that.
You like that? Yeah. So that's Joe Webb. I like women.
Hashtag Joe Webb. Yeah.
Women can friend zone, but guys can fun zone. Okay.
Yeah.
What that looks like, a woman can put a guy that she knows is interested in a friend zone box and dangle bait so he keeps on trying to get out of this friend zone box.
Yeah.
This is why, like, certain guys don't like that friend zone because they know it's just a game. I was like, okay, you can get out of there. But guys, after sex, they determine if this is like,
if this is gonna be serious or is this just for fun?
Yeah. So like, there's two games playing, but guys are not getting embraced for having they can't sit and say that you're fun zone because girls be like, I ain't just no fun. I'm a wife. I'm gonna like, there's more modern women than wives now. Wives are wives. That is just
not many people are getting married anymore.
Show me a wife. I'll show you a husband.
There you go.
Show me a wife. I'll show you a husband.
Yeah.
A modern woman does not. It's repellent against a traditional man. It's repellent. So if you're a modern woman and you want a traditional man, there's a repellent there. Like, I'm talking to men and women. Don't try to wife a modern woman because she's a modern woman. She's the type of woman that wants to come in and be a partner and have her whole, like, her delusion that you're going to be a millionaire. She's going to be a millionaire. You guys are going to be on the red carpet together and people are going to be like, oh, she got her business. She's doing her thing. No, that's not reality. Yeah. And then, like, this thing where women deflect more than ever. Now, like, women are going to hear that statement and be like, oh, so you don't want me to have a job? No, where did you get that from?
Right.
Like, it's like, why is everything, everything is a deflection or a
lack of accountability.
Yes, I get it. I know the game of a woman. They want no accountability and they want to do the convenient thing. Like, they want to know what you're on the front end, so they know how to treat you accordingly, so they don't invest with their feelings, emotion, time. Like, they know, they want to know that. I get it. That's fair. But then when a guy wants to do it, it's like, deuces. No, I don't want to tell what I'm bringing to the table. I'm boring. I got harbored issues. And I want you to go with my process, but I want you to be an ongoing thing of fixing yourself. And I'm like, that doesn't work. Women want to be an as-is practice. Nowadays, modern. Not all. Like, and I don't have any hurt or no. And there are some amazing women out there, like amazing women out there that don't fit these stereotypes, and they're going to be wives. Like, but the majority have this deflection, and I really don't even like to give advice to guys about healthy relationships because I'm not married.
Yeah.
So clearly, there's something. I'm not married, but I mean, like there's
and
like,
everyone love the thing is about relationships. Every story is unique, and I think that's the coolest thing about love too, and being in a romantic relationship. It's like you guys are writing your own story together. I want to go back what you said about putting women in the friend zone. In my personal
fun zone. Women in the fun zone.
Women in the fun zone. But I'm talking about women putting guys in the friend zone.
Okay, yeah.
I was that dude. I was in the friend zone for fucking many years.
Really?
Growing up. Yeah. I didn't find kind of, like, as I say, your swagger or, I didn't get my self-esteem. Honestly, until like I was in my 20s already. I wasn't very I wasn't happy with how I looked physically. One of my old counselors, when I used to go to treatment, he always say, you look good, you feel good. Yeah. I didn't feel like I looked good for many years, and that affected my self-confidence and my self-esteem, especially when it came to talking to women. Okay. Because I was in my head. I didn't think I was attractive. If I don't think I'm attractive, I know she don't think I'm attractive. At least that's how I thought. At the time. And like being in that friend zone, man, it taught me so much. For one, I feel like most of the time, the guy that's in the friend zone is the guy that the woman actually should be with, but she's not.
Yeah, so like the reason why the friend zone is dangerous, and I don't recommend any guy, if there's a girl out there saying you're your friend, tell her, no, I'm not your friend.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's hard to just be friends with a woman, I feel like.
No, you can do it. I like, how can I say this? Yeah. I'm pretty articulate. There's my job. So if there's a woman that's saying you're her friend, gentlemen, I would tell her the truth and say, no, okay, yes, you look at me as a friend, but if I ever get an opportunity, you can't get it. You can't get this work. Mm-hmm. And that gives you that sense of still male, because you don't want a woman treating you like, oh, I got to change in front of him.
But you know what they say? They'll be like, oh, we're such good friends. I don't want to ruin that. No, that's the line they all use when you try to.
Then you say, well, don't ruin it then. Yeah. Don't ruin it. You be kind, don't ruin it then. But no. If a woman tells you like, hey, you're my friend, and I'm saying if you're a guy and you have attraction to the woman, tell her like, hold on, I know you're saying that, but I don't want to lie, and they'll respect you more. Like, yeah, you look at me as friend, but if you ever change in front of me and grind me or something, I'm gonna show you something that you're gonna probably be addicted to. Okay, don't play with me like that. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Yeah, and then don't be paying and doing like once they say friend zone, let them be that friend. Like, hey, look, I need some Chipotle. Bring me some Chipotle. Yeah. But don't ever disconnect or diminish that avenue to say, hey, I'm still a man. I'm still going to be a man if there's an opportunity, because then you're true to yourself. Because a lot of guys in friends don't like no guys.
They're simps. Have you heard that term before? A simp. It's a guy who shows.
I don't like to call
overly sympathetic towards a woman.
I don't like. Okay, can I touch on something for a minute? Yeah. We'll get back to it. Just redirect it. Your show.
No, do your thing.
But I don't like to call names. I just beta male, alpha male, boss chick, boss dude, alpha male. Like I think that's very immature. I don't like to, because this society is delusional with that stuff. You'll get a guy saying he's a boss, and his occupation does not say he's a boss of anything. Like
he's working at a Burger King.
Make me a grilled cheese. The game is the game. When I get to the next round, I'll come up and get it.
Mom, the internet's out. Yeah. God damn it.
And I'm not laughing at the guy doing it, but like that's not a boss. But like, we even like say like women are boss, alpha, female. It's like there's no such thing. There's no such thing. It's like
no such thing as an alpha female.
There's no such thing.
Dude, you just triggered a lot of feminists right now. They're gonna listen to that like, oh, I'm alpha female. But that's one thing about modern day women too. They do feel alpha.
I'm getting on that. And
okay, I'll let you go.
I'm on my train. I'm taking off. So, a feminist being an alpha female is contradictory, because feminine nature is not hardcore. Attraction is not symmetrical. Let me just elaborate.
Okay.
Attraction is not symmetrical. It does not have the same foundation for male. When you hear a woman say her qualities are, she has a career, she has her own, she's not a financial disaster, she has a lot of things that would appeal to a woman for a man to have with a career, a stable foundation, a family, like all those things. It's this symmetrical desire for women embrace what they want in a man and be what they want to be what they want. But they won't ask a man, what do you
Bless you.
Thank you.
That's fine.
If you just start talking to a woman and just asking the hard questions, what's your moral code? What is a guy getting that marries you? All right. And and I got a list of about 50 things that's desired and valued in a wife. I can read them to you, actually.
Okay.
I'm gonna read them to you.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna read what's valuable. And just consider
to you?
No, to men
Just
that
to
want a
men
wife
in general. Okay.
And like this is not all men, and like women be like, well, all men don't want that. So this is what ladies. Let me give you embrace this. This is going to help a lot of ladies out. These are things that are valuable to men. I run a men's group, and we'll put that on there. And I've talked to probably, I would say 10,000.
I want to get you and one of your guys who just does men's group with you on here one of these days.
Done.
By the way, I'd love that.
Done. So these are the things that we came up that is valuable. That does not. These are value. You just not. When ladies hear things, it's like they'll take. Oh, I have to have it, and it's like they take absolute, and then they have this euphoric. Yeah, but what ifs? But these are things that are valuable. No kids, feminine, no masculinity, no masculinity, fit in shape, soft spoken, great hygiene, always in parentheses, sober, sex appeal, trustworthy, family oriented, cooks and cleans, has a hobby that they're good at, knows their biblical role. That's mine. I inserted that. Sorry. Yeah. Can dance, a low body count, good with kids and young women, easy for me to talk to, does not shut down, displays joy, can dress. That one's just mine. Mentally stable, discreet, classy, humble, comprehensive, has integrity, takes correction or criticism, has older women counsel. That's valuable if a woman has that. Open availability. Like if you work 40, 60 hours a week, that's not valuable.
Right.
If you have availability, that's valuable. Communicates on her own. Babe, I'm sorry, but hey, you were flirting with the waiter too much. That hurt my feelings, and I want you all to myself. But I still like you. I still want to sit. I mean,
yeah.
Like,
I just needed to express that.
Yeah, that's valuable for a woman can do that. Can speak another language. A lot of women. I'm almost done.
Oh, yours
takes interest in a man's interest. If your guy has a hobby, if you know what position your husband or boyfriend plays, you're doing good. Or his hobbies, or know something about his hobby of like his favorite character on the game. Maybe even if you don't like the game, taking that avenue, that's valuable to a guy.
It is.
I know it is. Yeah, and I'm just telling the women out there to listen to this thing. And I can give a for instance for everyone if you need to do. If I started late to give a for instance what these things mean and what they look like. Forgiving, knows how to ask. That's another one. Enhancements were big that came up. Willingness, meaning a lot of people just think these words of like, what does it look like? But so I'll give a couple, for instance, on the single word. Willingness means like if a guy comes to you and says, hey, I love when a woman wears her hair up or in a ponytail or down or blonde. The willingness is not, a guy doesn't want to hear, well, sometimes just do it. Guy, that's valuable to a guy. He's gonna think like, oh, she ain't no. It's not a pushover, like not no submissive foolishness. It's like, hey, my desires are valuable to you, so you're valuable to me. That's all. Like this is not rocket science. Punctual, that's valuable to a guy. If a woman's always on, that's valuable to a guy. Gentle, meaning that there's no like, well, I disagree because of this. No, just disagree like a woman. No, babe, I don't think that's right, but let's look at that together. That's gentle. That's soft. That's a woman.
It's good to have like a partner that is I think it's good to have when you have a partner that's strong enough to disagree with you and tell you like, you know, you might be wrong. Yes. Or why don't you take a look like that again?
That's valuable.
Don't just let your man get away with a bunch of bullshit.
That's valuable. Convincing. That's what that's number 40. Convincing. Articulate. A woman that can articulate Oh man.
Yeah, sexy.
Yeah, that's sexy. In parentheses says it doesn't swear. Well versed that doesn't adhere to you guys. Can massage. That's valuable to a guy.
Oh man, getting a back rub. I think that's what made me fall in love with my girl.
Yeah,
when we first saw dating,
these are things that are valuable to men.
Not even having to ask.
Yeah.
One that was just like, hey babe, you want a back rub?
Has dining etiquette. Good with old people. That's valuable to a guy. Understands time and place. That's valuable to a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he's like a judge, lawyer, and he makes partner or something like that, he has to bring you to the company Christmas party, and you understand like I gotta be lady here. That's valuable, and he don't gotta teach you how to be that. That's so valuable. Has good eye game, knows how to play like looks, and takes body language in consideration. We'll rather get those last couple are mine, and that's not really here nor there. But
the one that stuck out first to me, the one that I personally have to disagree with, and I also think it's more difficult as you get older, is the no kids one. I think it was the first one on the list.
No. See what you did? You did it. You did it again. You did what they're doing.
I did what they're doing. Okay.
Okay. Just hear me out. Like I'm not trying. But I didn't say that you have to have it. I said these are valuable. It's valuable if you don't have it. That's why I keep stressing valuable. It's not an absolute. I'm saying if you render these things, it's valuable. That thing is valuable.
Right.
You don't need to have it. Or this mic right here is valuable, but we don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is valuable. Mm-hmm. That's my point. That's painting a picture. Like that light over there that's not being used, that's valuable.
Have you been with a woman that's had kids before?
Absolutely.
Like dating? Yeah.
Absolutely. But here's the kicker. Even with them, there's pros and cons that they know body language better than the girl that doesn't have kids. It's like it's a scaling process of what's valuable to that individual. Like I might, knowing a sour face is telling you that this is disgusting, and that might lure me. She just knew that I didn't like that taste, but she just gave me that food, and that because she has kids that made the same face. Like that's valuable for me.
That's that motherly instinct.
Yes,
too. That's what turns me on. Like as I've gotten older, like when I'm like my girl, she has a kid, but she's got those mom instincts. And but I've seen other women that don't have any kids, but you can tell they got just those motherly instincts.
That list is just things that's. I'm not saying you have to have these things. It's you can. But those are things that are valuable to men. That's all I'm saying. Like when women are gonna hear that and be like, "Oh well," women can't process the reality of no, and I can't. So anytime you push back on something that they're not, you get that. So you don't want me to have a job. It's like to the extremes.
Right.
There's no middle. Like, oh yeah, punctual. Oh, has availability. Oh, so you don't want me to have no job now? Oh, okay. No, I'm saying, look, make time for the dude.
Yeah.
Make time for the dude. That's valuable.
Yeah.
You don't agree with, and it's like when it's like you have to package these things different to understand. And I get it. We're two different creatures. We're wired differently.
Yeah.
And delivery means a lot. You have to have some compassion and get them comfortable. All these things. But I want to piggyback on something before I forget. Alpha female does this foolishness, and just hear me out.
Okay. The alpha female.
They do this foolishness. Watch, and you say, but what if you get a man that doesn't need your money and that has success already, and you're coming into his kingdom? A king makes a queen. A queen doesn't make a king. That's reality.
Mm-hmm.
So you talk to them, and the mindset for somebody saying they're a boss chick or alpha female, they have this conditional femininity because they know it's masculine. They know that's masculine.
Yeah. Some women out hearing that, they would describe that as toxic masculinity.
Whatever the case.
Yeah.
Whatever the case. But so this is what happens when you have a conversation. Another thing that's valuable to a guy, a woman that can have a conversation. That can that can have. There's so much stuff more on that list I skipped off.
Right.
But those were the. That's not COVID.
That's all good. Yeah, no worries.
So if you talk to that woman that's a boss chick or an alpha female or something like that, or an entrepreneur, and you tell her, like, what if you just talk to her practical, she's going to say, oh, when I get a man, I'll be submissive or whatever, or feminine or whatever. Right? Okay. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. She's going to say that. I'm not trying. This is not a trick question.
Yeah.
And you can disagree with me, brother. I promise I'm not offended. But this is the day we live in. those principles are okay for a woman. Have you ever thought about this? If you said, "Hey, I like this girl. What's your type? Tell me your type."
Physically or
What's your type?
yeah, tall, nice legs.
Okay.
Nice curves.
Okay.
You know, long hair.
Okay.
Actually, I like a girl that's just got really nice, long, thick hair.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't really have a type on hair color. I guess I'm not in between. I either like the really dark hair or like really blonde hair.
Right.
You know.
Right. Okay. So
and people who just have a natural like beauty to them.
Yeah.
You know, you can tell when some people who have like a lot of makeup on, the people that are just naturally pretty. Like
I'm about to have some fun. I need you to catch on.
Okay.
So you can't say no name.
All right.
Do you think what you call it was pretty?
What you call it? Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I figured. Okay.
Yes.
That's awesome. No, I love you. So leave it there. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. God bless. Oh man. So, but that's a blessing, man. I saw you looking at me like, how did he? Like, okay, but is that? Yeah, I did too. So I was like, well, you, of course. But anywho, the woman can do that. But if a guy says this thing, says, hey, you know what? I am going to find a woman and display things that she doesn't like, and say, you know what? I like having sex with men on Thursday nights, and it's just like that's gay, and that's not. And then you say, oh no. I'm really masculine when I find the right woman. Right? When I find the right woman, I'm an alpha male.
Right.
I'm an alpha. I'm a
beast.
Boss.
Yeah.
I'm a beast when I find the right woman. But right now, I like to wear high heels, and I like to put lipstick on
Thursdays.
On Wednesday. Thursday, Wednesday, make it win. And then she's like, that's not and this sounds asinine to you, right? It sounds like, what are you talking about?
Right.
But that's what women are doing when they say, oh, when I meet the right guy, no, you have to be that already. You have to come in with that feminine nature.
Yes.
You have to come in with that softness. Right. You have to come in with that. Like you like a guy, but then
don't be like, I'm waiting to find the person to bring this out on me.
You're a man.
This is what I am now.
I just entertain myself. Like most women are so freaking masculine. I just laugh at them. Like, okay, this is a man I'm talking to.
Yep.
like, and they don't have no clue. Like, you're so
remember the article we just read? There's a lot of women that identify as men now.
Yeah. It's like, wow. It's like, this is crazy. Like, they want to be acknowledged for your career and all these things. It's like, that's irrelevant to a guy. He wants to know, like, are you going to be a good wife? Are you going to be a headache? Are you going to be fit? Is he going to be sexual?
To me, are you going to be faithful? You know what I mean? Right. Can I trust you? Right. Can I let you go out to the bar on a Saturday night with your friends and not have to fucking worry about it? Not even think twice. To me, that's a big one. That's something that I find really valuable.
Yeah.
Like to the point, like I want to be able, I blindly trust the person I'm with. I want that trust and loyalty to be on that level. Well, it's almost like naive.
So what we've done, we have lied to women, and men contribute to the foolishness of lying to women, saying, look, you can have a hot girl summer, you can be a hoe for her, and then when you're ready, but now what you've done is you've diluted the success of you being a wife because you've been this. And most guys that have the ability to marry and sustain a household, they don't want a woman that somebody can go in the bathroom at the holiday party and be like, oh man, we used to pass your wife around. Glad you got her though, man. I wouldn't have married her, but man, your wife, did she do that trick with the, like, I've seen that happen to guys that married women that didn't tell their and it's like, now we've told women, oh, it's okay, girl, do your thing, do your hot girl summer, gain weight, do everything, be 300 pounds and think you're sexy. It's like, no. It's like, what are you doing? Like, this is not what guys are going to marry. Yeah, any woman can get a guy to sleep with them. Yeah. But women take guys pursuing them if they'll sleep with them if they want to marry them.
But does something that happened in a woman's past, how much does that play part in your decision making of whether you're going to get in a serious relationship with that woman?
Me, myself, or in general?
Just in general. Because I do feel like, everyone has their past.
Yeah, everybody has a past.
Just like you're not gonna like hearing how your wife got passed on this and that. She's not gonna like hearing, oh yeah, he used to have threesomes with this girl and he used to do this and that. I feel like it's a little bit of a double standard there.
Well, men. Okay, so women are not made for multiple partners. They're not like this is why kings would have. I'm not justifying it. I think we dealt with this a little bit on King Solomon last time. we're made species to repopulate, and if a man, and this is going to happen, the same thing that just would happen with the list of people like, well, it's always some kind of deflection, and like just consider there any truth. Just go ask guys, is that stuff valuable that I just said, and then go with that answer. Don't deflect. Well, because like just go say, hey, is this value a woman that's on time? Yes or no? No guy's gonna be like, no, I want her to be late. The majority of guys be like, oh yeah, that's valuable to me. A woman that smells good, that's fit, that's soft, that understands touch, that understands the massage. Like that's valuable to me. Yep. Is it law? No, it's not. These are not laws. They're valuable. We got to get these things, just like these principles. A woman is not made for multiple partners. If a woman has 1,000 partners in a summer, you're gonna tell it on her body. If a guy has 1,000, that's against nature. Like a woman can't have multiple things. Multiple things in her because it's gonna stretch her. She's gonna it's gonna do things. Well, a man can do that. Nature will tell us the truth. A man could have that many partners.
That makes him better in the bedroom. Gives him more experience.
Yeah, and
I'm kind of making a joke, but not really at the same time.
I get what you're saying, but a man doing it doesn't take a psychological hold. Women have to. A woman that has multiple partners is harder to date than a woman that has less partners. That's a statistical fact. And this is why it's difficult to even have this conversation because we have to forfeit reality and statistics and life experience. We have to forfeit that just for feelings. And this is where our societies come. It's like if you take a woman that has a lot of partners, she's going to be not stable with that main guy. There's going to be resurrected issues from the past of dealing with that many guys. I know guys that are solid husbands that had multiple women that have never cheated. And I'm not measuring on just guys I know, but it's not the same. That doesn't carry over to the relationship because it's just a sex thing, sex connection. Guys can do that. And that's why guys, like this new feminist thing has brought that thing out. You didn't hear years ago a woman saying she wanted to have a hot girl summer. You didn't.
Yeah.
Because family was embraced.
Right.
You didn't hear that. But feminists have made it where they can have hot girl summers and do this crazy stuff and then be
get a hall pass. It's like they get a hall pass to
but
go
they don't
out.
Because nobody's gonna. Once you start living that lifestyle, you start just saying things like you don't need a man and it's just the sex or whatever, and it's going to really come back in the long run to hurt you. It might be fun for now, but the things that you're carrying to a relationship, a guy that really wants a wife, is gonna be like, nah. Guys that want a wife. They don't want a modern woman that could be a wife. They want a wife, just like the woman that's wants a traditional woman wants a traditional husband.
Let me ask you something. Yeah. Do you believe we're meant to be monogamous?
Wow,
that's a big one because I feel like that's what this conversation. That's where it's kind of heading to. I personally, I don't think we're meant to be monogamous, but we realize it's better to behave that way, especially when it comes to like raising kids and having a family and getting married. But I don't think there's anything like rooted in our like DNA that makes us only want to be with one person ever. I think that's something we kind of decided and figured out over time. Be like, you know what? It's a lot better to only have one partner and raise and start a family with this one partner.
I think I'm going to answer the question, but it might take.
It's a big question. Yeah,
it is. I'm going to answer, but this is an opportunity to insert this thing, personal conviction and relationship. If you have relationship and personal convictions where multiple women and multiple men have a stab at you, Christ does that, right? Christ does that. But then before that, if we adhere to humanity, how do communities evolve? With family and relationship, then community. Humanity evolves that way. How does that happen? When you have a father, a mother, and children, and then they go display it. We can agree that a healthy individual, both parents. Now somebody going to deflect them out. Oh, there's some people that are healthy with that. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Okay, I'm not this is one of my pet peeves. Is like, yeah, but some people run red lights too. How is that relevant? I get it, but let's just take the tangibles and go in that direction because we can go into like, well, some people eat snakes, but It's not. Yeah, I like barbecue.
Right.
Right. So monogamy works. It works. It's healthy for humanity. It's healthy when there's a father and a mother and raising children together. Do you agree that that's healthy for community?
Absolutely.
So we can look at statistics that show crime in areas go down when there's fathers, mothers, neighbors raising children. It takes a village to raise a child. That's true. So we know that those rules. We know those rules. The question that you asked me is do I believe in monogamy? I believe in humanity process. I believe in that because it works and it's healthy and it's God's divine nature for us. It's God's divine nature for us to have family and nurturing from male and female so they can go display that to their kids and they're learning. So when you say, do I believe in that? The answer would be yes, but when it's healthy, when it's for the organic nature to have male, woman raise kids and family touches community and community touches nations and so forth. And nations touch the world. That's the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with a man finding a woman attractive. He can't healthily date that woman with multiple women there and adhere to his family because what happens if he gets that other woman pregnant? Now, what happens is like there's two women sharing one man for two families. Now you have some discord of neglect. Now one of those sons are going to pick up some weed and like you see what I'm saying? Like all the things that could happen.
Right.
So like if we just look at the main key problem, family is a blessing. Family is something that I embrace and I can't go against because science, statistics, and archaeology is credible. History is credible. That those things are credible because we can look in verbal history, we can look at physical history, we can look at written history, and it
like the Bible, for example.
Like the Bible,
yeah.
And we can see that family, man, woman, children, community, nations, regions, nations, world. The world is better with family than it is with. So
it's more peaceful with family too.
Yeah. And like you can look at the statistics when there are families in areas. Look at the crime when there are less families. When it's individual isolation and everybody's doing stuff, but that guy that has multiple wives, somebody's gonna be neglected. Somebody's gonna go and have struggle. Somebody's gonna have a time where they're gonna have to probably do something that has low integrity. But it starts with that one-on-one, mile-on-mile. So the answer is yes, and that the reason is because of history tells that it's successful.
Yeah,
history tells us that when you have a man and a woman, and you have family united, it's better for community. It's better for humanity.
It is.
But when so we can't knock that reality. Somebody can say, "No, you still don't agree," but look at the statistics and look at look at what happens when there's some delusion, some dysfunctional families and things like that happens.
Sometimes kids still have a perfect mom and dad in the house and they still end up doing drugs, whatever. It's not everyone, but like I said, statistically speaking, it's families that stick together end up providing more benefits to the world than not.
Correct. That's correct. So if we know that, and if that's I truly believe it's reality. If one day we got to come back and say that was wrong, I'll be the first. Oh yeah. No, it's not good. Family sucks. It's not good.
Right.
But right now, my answer is that family is good. Family's
everything. Yeah.
I mean,
almost when you make one, at least.
Yeah, when family is good, but family has a sense of entitlement. When you start to have success, I've noticed certain things about family that hurt me, but you gotta read and look at it. Family will be part of the success, but the journey to get to success is like whatever. When you're there, it's like, oh yeah, that's my nephew, that's my brother, that's somebody relevant to me now. But nobody likes the process of somebody's success. The process of somebody's success is very rarely embraced, and that goes back to the cancel culture thing. And that's the problem when we don't handle things well. It's like, okay, this is this is the day we live in now.
Yeah.
You have to really.
We cancel more than we accept nowadays.
Yes.
And it's pretty sad because the communities that are canceling everyone are the same ones that are asking to get accepted.
Yeah, there's so much yearn for a relationship with everybody. Like everybody's yearning for a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It's this fear. The pandemic shook the world up.
And then, when you were here, was that before COVID? I can't remember. I think it was a little bit after.
No, yeah, I think it was about to get bad.
It's about to
No.
I think it was just we're coming around
during COVID.
During COVID, yeah.
Yeah, it was during COVID.
I
know what
time.
Oh, I read your mind right there. That is fun. I like it, man.
Yeah.
I like it. Man, I love like jokes that like, well, we is like, man,
Those kind of like mental vibes or something when you just look, it's like you obviously had a joke or a conversation with that person but no words were actually said.
Right. Yeah, that's good. That's really, really good, man. I'm like, so the dating world and is something that we can't give up on because we have to go on. We have to keep humanity going keep humanity going and keep on evolving.
Yeah, keep on trying to forge relationships, you know? Like, do you see yourself having a family one day? Are you out there trying to meet girls, trying to meet the potential Mrs. Webb one day?
Yeah. It's challenging because the capacity I sit in, I don't want to really go in. Like, I don't have any harbored issue or trust issues. And like, I let the woman set the tone. Like, if you want to be on, what is it called? Don't tell me, OnlyFans and stuff like foolishness.
Shake your butt, not only.
Yeah, I treat a woman according to her actions.
Okay.
If she shows me modern woman, and I act according to modern woman.
Right.
If she should show me traditional woman, I act according to traditional. Like, that's just my moral code.
Yeah. Is OnlyFans, is that like a red flag for you? Turn off if she's on OnlyFans?
I'm glad you asked me that. My red flags are things like tennis shoes. No, I don't like women in tennis shoes. I don't know.
Really?
If I see a woman, if she's attractive and she has tennis shoes on, I'll probably greet her, but I won't have any erotic interest.
Okay. It's
for a reason, but I just think grown women dress like grown women. And I get it. Like, if there's some grace there. If you're in Walmart going to the gym or whatever, tennis shoes, but it's like you out in tennis shoes. It's like I don't know any grown women that
wear that. Yeah,
that's like a 30 and under thing. That's like a 30 and under thing. Like grown women dress like grown women. Like, this women in J's thing is like weird for me. Like, I want to go play you one-on-one. I want to see if you can hoop. I want to see what your crossover is like. You got them J's on. Like, can you could dunk, can't you?
Right.
Like,
let's see if you're about it.
Yeah. You're a dude to me. Like, when and that's not right, but it's like, that's just my, like, when I see a woman in tennis shoes and J's on, it's like, oh, hey, yeah. Hey, we need a small forward. Can you post? I want you to back him down.
Yeah. What's your jumper like?
Yeah. Can you make a left-hand layup? Come hoop with us, you know? I like that, but it's cool. I'm mildly joking, so nobody be offended. I'm turned off by a lot of deflection. Can't have a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, nowadays, I just try to have a conversation. Like, hey, what's your moral code? Like, what are your personal convictions? Like, what's the happiest day of your life? What's the what's the wisest thing you ever done? What's the wisest thing you ever learned? Or have you ever took a bad situation and took it as an opportunity? Like, just this conversation, like, what kind of mom you think you'll be?
Right. Simple questions that can really give you a good outlook of a person's character.
Yeah, and I'm guilty of like, I think I struggle with, like, I probably come off as like you're on a hot seat or that's my weakness.
Yeah, too serious.
Yeah, no, I'm never too serious.
Yeah,
I'm never too serious. Like, if I'm not doing my job, there's always avenue for foolishness and jokes. So another thing that's red flag, can't have a conversation, always on the phone. Like, if you can't have it, like, I get it, you gotta go on your phone, but like that mean.
But when you're out to dinner though, like, that's one of my pet peeves. Like, say if I go out to dinner, like, or Me and my girl, we don't do this now, but back when I was single and dating, like say if I go on a Tinder date and I can tell this girl's like always on her phone, and it's like, it'd be one thing if I wasn't trying to engage her, but it's like, I'm trying to engage with you and talk with you. Like I'm asking you questions and you still just can't put the phone down. Like, are you just not that into me or are you that addicted?
Right. But I'll be honest, like I don't really experience that. I don't like women that are out with me.
Yeah.
They don't like maybe one woman, like but I'll tell her like, hey, what are you doing? And like you won't touch it again. Like I because that says a lot about you. If you're out, I always tell people like, look, if you got to be on, like if you're not done with work or whatever, don't like. I'm not gonna be ever bored or lonely. Like, oh, I can't hang out. It's like no, it's like I play, I can hoop, I play pool, I do everything. So it's like I'm not waiting to like I'm not ever bored or lonely. Where it's like I gotta wait for it. No, if you got your stuff to do, I'll be okay. I'm a big boy and I make friends easy. So like if you can't hang out tonight, you just can't hang out tonight. I'm not gonna be like, ding, you can't check mark. But if it's like you don't have any availability, I'm just take care of your stuff. Like if I want to wait around, if you catch me on the like, but if you're on your phone, if a woman was on her phone while I was out, I would address it. But like then if it happened again, that tells me, hey, she's not ready. She ain't ready because that's not rocket science. And I think a woman after 25, I don't mess with. You got to be 30 plus. Because there's a mindset that comes with 20 and down. There's a mindset. Yeah. It's like, it's so entitled. It's fun. They're fun, but they're not my wife. Yeah. They're fun, but they're not my wife. And so it has to be a certain age range. But if you ask me later, I'll tell you the whole criteria. But I don't really go in with that's a red flag because you don't never know. And that's not wise or intelligent. But, she did this. She got tennis shoes on. Oh, I can't. No, it's like you give things opportunity. Right. You have your preferences. I have preferences. Like, no, I don't want to see a woman. But if things are different, like, conversation evolves. Oh, yeah, I need to take you out to dinner. I need to take you to lunch. You know, we need to go on this walk. It's just whatever.
I want to pick at your brain and get to know you a little bit more.
I'm summoning your intellect. Yeah. I tell them.
I feel like it's good to try not to look for red flags.
Yeah, I think that's
notice them.
Yeah. Because
it's like it's kind of toxic. Like when you start to look for red flags or notice them, it's almost like you're talking yourself out of it of why I shouldn't be with this person.
Yeah. I think you have harbored issues. Like every woman gets a clean slate. I don't she must no, I don't have no harbored issues. So I don't want you to bring in harbored issues from a guy that mistreats you. Like I'm not gonna compare what she did that my ex-girlfriend did or that my other girl, no, every woman has her story, and you gotta let the relationship evolve. And there's nobody's perfect. Everybody's gonna come in with something that you don't like. Ain't nobody gonna come in and be there's some guys that do that, but that woman is probably after his money. She just fits every criteria. She's got everything down. She does everything good and accept him for him. And when a woman says things like "accept me for me," and I ask them, what does that mean? And they can't really give me a direct answer. That's scary too. There's a couple things in conversation that scare me when a woman, but here's the thing though. Most women attractive women have never been challenged on stuff they say. Because guys is trying to most guys just trying to screw them.
Because they're just trying to fuck.
Yeah. Well,
but attractive people, no, and it goes to them guys, they live in the bubble. Yeah. You know, anytime they no one ever wants to tell them that they're wrong or correct them or something or make them feel dumb because them saying no or them correcting them is going to decrease their chances of having sex with this person.
Right. But see, when if a guy's getting if sex isn't his motive or
it's motive for a lot of guys.
It is, but there are some guys. There you gotta go saying there's some guys, some people looking for a legitimate wife that want that companionship,
especially once you get older. I would say, when you're younger, most guys, including myself when I was younger, it was all about getting laid. But as you get older, you start looking for
a helpmate.
Who's gonna be my wife?
Yeah, and women want to come in now as partners. You're not my partner. You're my wife. You're a helpmate. So God, and this is just God embraces man embraces his wife, and wife embraces the children. A woman is to love her husband, a woman is to respect her husband, and a man is to love his wife. That's how the Bible ties it together.
Mm-hmm.
So a woman respects her husband and a man loves his wife. What the problem is, women are wanting the guy, not saying that they don't, wanting the love element and not giving the respect element, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
The women are giving the love element instead of the respect element. And that's where it's kind of clashing. And it's,
bless ya.
thank you. I don't know why I'm sneezing down here so much.
all good.
I promise I don't have COVID.
No, I don't care either
Okay,
way.
Good. Are you one of those vaccine people? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I have, I've gotten it twice already.
COVID
at
or
least.
the vaccine?
COVID.
Okay.
Like I went there and tested positive for it. So
Right.
I should be all good.
So you probably got it now?
Yeah, maybe. I might have it right now.
And then,
they say the CDC came out and said natural immunity is better than getting a vaccine now.
Wow.
They came out and said that.
They came out and said that.
Yeah.
Wow. That is crazy. That is so crazy.
All right. Did you ever get it?
The vaccine?
COVID. No, just COVID. I don't care if you got vaccinated or not. I just want to know if you ever got COVID.
I think so.
Okay, you think so?
I was in hell. It was a foreign thing that I'd never had before. So I think, I got COVID.
For sure.
I don't know how I got it. But I'm around people. I shake like hands and stuff but that sickness was not unto death. But it's a blessing because I know a lot of people that died from that thing.
Mm-hmm.
That thing was a demon from hell. And it's still, the world's still being affected by it, man.
It is.
And it's probably something worse coming in the future.
Yeah.
That she's going to shut us down for real. Like people couldn't go to church, they couldn't do nothing, couldn't go to the store. But that's how we know what's valuable now.
Yep.
Relationship. Like all those women talking about they don't need no man or whatever. I bet they wish they had a man during COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet they needed a man during COVID.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that when COVID first, I think I was single when COVID first, came around, and I was online. Oh my God, there was a lot, dude. The online dating scene just fucking flooded. People didn't have anything else to do.
Oh man.
So get on there and like talk to people.
Yeah, I bet, man. I know some people probably cleaned up. There's probably gonna be like a lot of babies born next couple years from COVID babies. Like, man,
Yep.
you would just, nothing else to do. Let's reproduce.
Yeah.
Let's reproduce. Do you want kids?
Yeah. Yeah, I want kids someday.
Okay, I mean, I embrace family, and they're a blessing. Like, if I don't have them organically, I'm gonna probably adopt kids when I get married. Let's say, for instance, I marry somebody that's like 35, 40 or whatever, that can't have kids. I'm gonna adopt some kids.
I really respect you for not for being willing to adopt and having someone being able to be with someone who may not be able to have kids. How that's not a deal breaker for you.
Well,
you know what I mean? If you're really down for that chick, like I would love to have kids with you, but even if you can, I'm still gonna stay with you.
Yeah. It's not. See, this is one thing. It's not a Joe Webb show. It's a helpmate, and like I'm not gonna be having to be a warden, and I have a prisoner, and I don't want a partnership. I want a wife, right? And so I'm not gonna be some monster. I want this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody's gonna get all their needs, man. I think years ago I would have said, no, she can't have kids, But I have to be open because you don't know what life's gonna throw at you. You just have to be able to. I think a strong man adapts to anything life throws at him, not how much he can bench. I know guys that can bench 600 pounds. Literally, I saw him do it. But if somebody changes the music in the gym, he's pissed off, about to cry.
Yeah.
Like literally, not really cry, but he's angry. Like they changed my CD. That's my song. It's like you can't have that's not strength to me. Strength is where life throws everything at you.
Yep.
And you can handle it. It doesn't. You don't miss a beat.
Yeah. Strength is just taking action too.
That's
going out there and just getting shit done.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not like physical strength and like that doesn't mean anything. Like you said, it's being able to adapt to situations, being able to sacrifice like personal stuff for the benefit of like someone else of your family, like that's real strength too. That's real strength. Willing to take the shirt off your own back to give to someone else.
Yeah. I mean, people like my whole mission is like, how many people can I help while I'm on this earth? I've gotten nice stuff, but it's like, how many lives can I touch by helping? That's the mission. Like, how many people can be like, I met Joe Webb and he helped me do this. He like
Yeah.
that's more than like, oh, I did this. Another person saying he helped us, because you never know like what might manifest itself, and I might be talking to another next pastor or next NBA player that their life is touching. They reach like a million lives because
Yeah.
of their platform. So that's why it's just good to be nice to people. It's good to be friendly. It's good to be embracing new relationships.
Yeah.
I have a problem with, especially in the church world, people that don't make friends and that don't embrace new friendships and invite people in their home. It's like, how can you say you're that?
Rap music, dude. Drake has a song actually called "No New Friends." I don't know if you remember that one. It's an old one. It goes, "No new friends, no new
does
friends,
that?
no new."
Who?
Drake.
That's the light skin
He
dude,
has
right?
Yeah,
I'm just fine.
the light skinned Canadian dude. Yeah, kind of looks like me.
I don't rock with a lot of music that talks about man and their feelings.
But yeah, I feel like a lot of the whole no new friends like mindset. I think a lot of it was people who have been done wrong in the past before, but like a lot of people that got trust issues.
That sounds like you need therapy, though.
Yeah,
that sounds like therapy is needed. And I'm not knocking. I'm not saying it to be spiteful. I'm just saying that when you display not making new friends, that's not humane. That's not. It's first of all, it's almost rude that you don't want to embrace new relationship. Because that what are you saying, that the ones that you have were toxic, so you give up?
Yeah,
that would be weak. Then
it is weak. It would be weak, and I feel like they're weak and they're scared and they're vulnerable and they don't want to. They're afraid to let other people into their life, and they're going to do the same things again. But their mindset, like it's like their thinking is like inverted in a way, because you need to be able to let people in your life again so they can change the way you think. Be like, you know what? I've been done wrong in the past, but Joseph Webb came along in my life and he showed me that there are good people out there. There are people I can let into my life and I can talk to and I can trust.
Yeah. And like, I'm always like, who's around you? Like who's around you that has not allowed you to grow and being able to friend you and love you enough to tell you the truth? Like, you got a bad handshake when you walk in the room, man.
Yeah.
You're disconnected. Like a lot of correction comes from a genuine place of people wanting to see you grow, but we've been told, no, you're good how you are. You don't need no help. Like, we started giving awards for 9th place, and I'm like, well, I don't even want to participate because there's like, I want who won and who lost,
right?
Because you can take that into the work world. You got to win. Like this whole, oh my God, he got 14th place. He did good. Yeah. Let's celebrate. He was dead last and he quit. And you're going to praise that? Yeah, because you don't want to hurt his feelings.
And what does that like do to the kids at a young age? So, you got an award even though you still quit and you didn't give it your best. When you start getting older and you get into the work, workforce, then you're still going to expect to do the bare. You're going to still expect to do the bare. Not expect. You're going to do the bare minimum, and you're still going to expect to get rewarded for it.
Yeah, and that's what the problem is. This is why the schools are failing us, because they're not teaching us how to make friends and how to embrace adversity. It's like, oh, he doesn't want to take the test. Let's let him color or play the game.
Yeah,
there's the game. They have the game at school now. You know that? And they have the tablet. I'm like, this is complete crazy, because something that is released in those games and those tablets and those phones that take our brain, since it's this dopamine release that it makes it feel good. So once they experience that, the likeliness of them coming back to class being focused is lower and lower. Mm-hmm. It's lower and lower every time. I'm like, well, okay. I'm just curious of where it's going to look like in 20 years from now. People are going to have the option. Does he want to go to school at 10 years old, or does he want to be a YouTuber? That's what they're going to do. Yeah. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, he just wants to be a YouTuber. He doesn't want to go to school.
There's something so organic about just being in that classroom that technology will never be able to replace. Just being in that environment where kids can raise their hands and ask a question that you didn't think of, and you can listen to him and the teacher like have an interaction about it, even if you're one of those students that sat back and didn't really ask any questions. But being in that environment, and able to absorb all that is so much better for your brain. I think it's better for learning compared to like, on like the computers, man. I've taken online classes. First of all, it's so easy to cheat. It's really tough to hold yourself accountable for. It's really easy to just like do a quick Google search to say if you did get stuck on a problem and you're like, okay, I don't know what to do here. Let me go figure out how to do it. A lot of the online tabs, I feel like they tell you how to solve it, but they don't explain why. You know, when you actually have a teacher, good teachers explain, this is why we do this.
Oh,
you know,
yeah. So you're just drinking that, and then now you're just going with whatever information, but you're really not learning nothing.
You're not. Exactly.
It's like a dose of sugar every time.
Yeah.
Like, you just get a little dose, and then you come back, and then you go all the way for a while, and then you come back again, and you're never learning nothing, and you're staying. Then you go to the next grade, and as time goes by, you think you're growing, but it's like you're getting...
But then you get in the job, and then you don't know shit.
Yeah, and then you're scared to tell people that you don't know nothing.
Yeah, because you got a piece of paper that says you know... You got a piece of paper that says you know stuff. but you actually don't know anything. This piece of paper says you do, though.
Yeah. That's what college does. You go in it, and then not only that, you got debt, too.
Yeah.
Like, man... It's tough because even that goes into dating now. Because if you got a woman that has a career or whatever, and she's passionate about her career, more than likely she's going to have to get that career. She's going to have some kind of degree. Yep. More likely to get that degree, you're going to have some money.
Some kind of debt. Yeah. Or we had a lot of money.
Yeah. So dating is tough, man.
It is.
It's not. I mean, not. When I say
tough. Relationships are tough, you know, like...
To get into a good one with what's going on, but relationships are a blessing, and they're easy if there's good communication. If there's good communication, trust, accountability, those things are the foundation. Trust and accountability in a relationship that thrive it. And we don't get to that place of taking off on the runway. It's on the runway. Oh, one of the tires. Oh, go back. The passenger left. A bag and the baggage claim, we gotta go back. Yeah. Anything that we're out of milk on the plane. Oh, go back. Like, no, this plane is going. Sorry, that guy came late. Sorry, the package has to stay there. You ship it to their house. Milk. Okay, we got orange juice. Let's go. That's not the mentality. It's like we're on the runway. Oh, did we forget something? Oh, the intercom doesn't. One of the speakers in the intercom are broken. Go back. Let's refix the plane. Yeah. Yeah, it's like that's the mentality now. That is the mentality we're dealing with, man. And we can't evolve now. Like, guys are like, there's more virgin men under 30 than ever before.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it has to do with how accessible porn is nowadays. It's just so much. What? You know what I mean? I think for how accessible porn is, you know.
What is porn?
Yeah. Well, you don't want me to show you?
No. I'm just kidding, man.
Yeah, I know.
You're funny, man. I love it.
I can show you what it is.
I love talking to you, man. You feed into all of my jokes and foolishness. I was like, man, that is, well, you know.
Like, okay, let me ask you something here. We're over at 2 hours and 15 minutes here.
Sorry,
but
man.
I know, we're good. I just wanted to say, were you down to keep going for a little bit? I do want to ask you one more thing.
Yeah, you can ask, you got a couple more things you was going to ask me. And I'll make them.
How old would you start? If you think about it, how old were you when you saw porn for the first time? I'll go first. I was young, dude. Like probably like 4th or 5th grade, maybe younger, to be honest. And it was like that HBO softcore porn.
Okay, all right, yeah, okay. So I'm about to tell you the story. I'm about to tell you the story. I'm not going to tell you the answer. I'm going to tell you the story.
Okay.
I don't have an answer of the story. I don't know how old I was, but I know. Okay, yeah, I do. If my sister, our beloved sister, her name is Shamika, she was 17 or 18, because she lived at home still, and they moved, like my sisters. So she was 17 or 18, so that means I was about 12 or 11, maybe 13. My buddy suggested that, hey, so I had basketball, so my mom had to drop her off at work, or one of my parents dropped her off at work and took us to the school, me and one of my friends, and he got a brilliant idea. So when we got to the school, so she got out the car and he like looked at me like he had the like he was about to make Tesla cars back then. Like so I was like, when we got to the gym, he gets like, oh, he waited. As soon as my mom drove off, he's like, hey, oh man, guess what? And I'm like, what? He's like, your sister could get us some movies. And I'm like, huh? He's like, yeah, she works at there. My dad goes in. My buddy was like, my dad goes in the back. They got adult movies, but we can't go back there. I'm like, what kind of movies? He's like, we're like porn. Like, he was telling me like porn.
Yeah.
Well, he said adult movies.
Adult movies, yep.
Adult movies, right? So I was like, oh, what's okay. So that night, I saw my sister come off work. I was like, hey, sister, can you get me some movies? And she was just like, I knew you was going to ask me that. So she got me some movies.
She got them for you? Okay.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely.
That's a good sister.
Corrupted her brother.
Yeah.
That's a good sister, right? So, like a couple of days go by. I had like a stack of like, this is on VHS at the time, by the way.
Yeah, that's that vintage.
Yeah.
Vintage shit, dude.
So I got a good story to tell with this. You're going to like this. You're going to like this. This is probably going to be the best story I told you. Long and short of it is, I had a little issue with that. So I was selling them.
Okay.
Selling porn at the school.
Yeah.
So
like, were you recording the videos?
Yeah.
Like making,
I
like,
had
you get one video and then you'd record it on like a blank VHS tape.
and sell it to guys at school.
Okay.
For $5.
You were the porn dealer.
I was the porn
dealer at your school.
Yeah.
And now you're a pastor. Man,
thanks for incorporating that in this conversation, right?
All right.
Okay, so look, this is what happened. A true story. And people, long and short of it is, we used to have we had like, remember that big screen TV that was like this big and it was like, you know.
The fucking massive one that was like really big. Shit weighed like 500 pounds. The old school big TVs.
Okay, we had that at my parents' house when I was a teenager. So what I was doing, I was like ordering porn and I was putting a tape in, and when I put a tape in, I would just hit record and record it. I would order it. Like one time I called, you know, my dad is a pastor too.
Yep.
At the time, like, so like he's well known. So I call the thing and I like, hello, can I get blase movie? And they're like, looks like your account is overbalanced. I was like, yeah, this is a little bit last one. And she goes, enjoy your movie, Pastor Webb. Right? So a long short of it is I put a tape in there, whatever, record it. Some time goes by. And my dad had this notion to go to the church. No, he had this notion to have guys over to watch the fight.
Okay.
From the church. So there's like 30 guys in the living room. And one guy was just like, I want to see what the old church used to be like. What the old church used to be like. So he's like, oh yeah, I got a tape. And so he puts the tape in. There's 30 guys from church in the living room. And you remember VHS, how like when you record over something, you start to see those lines?
Yep.
So he put the tape in and those lines came. And it came in and it was just like, you know, like the image where you got the guy and you just have the butt, and it's like, that's all you see. Yeah. That's all you see. Yeah. And I'm like, what kind of church service is this? Yeah. So it took it out, whatever. Oh man,
and he probably just started freaking out too.
My son did that.
Right.
But this is what happened.
That's awesome.
This is what happened. About a year later, people wanted to see at the church, like what the old church looked like and how they were getting saved or whatever. And he had a projector in the church on a Friday night. Put a tape in, and this.
No, I'm afraid.
Yeah. So the lines were about to go through. The lines came in. He said, "Turn it off! Turn it off! Yeah. Turn it off! 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 Turn it off!" But it was like, man, they dodged the bullet because it was coming.
Yeah,
it was on there.
He didn't bother to double check that video.
No, because there was so many. I mean, no.
Yeah. Did you get in trouble?
Not really in trouble. Not really in trouble. He's just like, this dude has a problem. This dude has a real problem, man.
This dude's got a porn addiction.
Yeah.
Most guys probably do.
Yeah,
I had one when I was younger, growing up, before I was getting any. You know, like when I was a teenager, just fucking wanking it like every night, multiple times. Like, guilty, dude. Like, guilty. Yeah. You know, I'm glad I broke out of that.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm glad you did. Every guy experiences that thing because it's.
But no, it's just, I'm going back to saying it's just so accessible nowadays. That's why I feel like it's not. when you said there's more virgins of dudes under 30 more than there's ever been, I can't really say I'm surprised.
Because guys got
and porn's so good nowadays. Like I was thinking about it, compared to like even 30, 40 years ago, the amount of naked women a guy sees in his lifetime, it's like astronomical. I mean, like 100 years ago, like if you would tell a dude like, yeah, you can see like thousands of the most beautiful women in the world naked, whatever you want, like he wouldn't fucking believe you, you know, like. And I think about like what that does to us, like as men, and just how that affects our community, how we view women, just everything.
But it does though. It kind of bites us because we don't have that organic nature of approaching women now. Which urges them to take that masculine step and more to pursuing that woman. They want to take the easy way out, which is just logging on the hub. Tugging their shit, and then all of a sudden, once you get that nut though, like it's a little bit draining. You don't feel as motivated to go out and meet someone after. You you got what you needed. Right, and it's like, man, so the guys that are like, just being direct. You have to have a lot of things to get a girl to lay with you. You got to be somewhat attractive. You have to be articulate. You got to have some game. Unless like you're paying, but still even then. You got to have a playfulness about you too. Girls want to have fun. You know what I mean? You got to have that balance of like, I'm into you, but I'm cool at the same time. Even if I don't get it. A smoothness about you. And so guys on the game and all these things go away from those skills sets by they don't get in those skill sets. High school don't happen. College don't happen. Still jerking it. Man. Now they're 26. Still jerking it. And now this guy that doesn't have like a little bit of track record with women, he's looked at as the weird, awkward dude because he gets to the game. He might have a crazy laugh or like a weirdo look, no swag. Like swag is so important. It is actually. And it took me a while to find mine. The amount of times I embarrassed myself when I was like in my late teens and I was trying to like, actually go and like hook up with the women, dude. But you got to get through that though. You got to get through those like. You just got to embarrass yourself over and over again to eventually you find what works for you. You find yourself. I was wearing high waters before high waters were in style. Like, and then I was wearing like. I had so many different phases, but like every man has to experience an identity crisis. Yeah. And sometimes guys with no father figure experience a lifetime of it. Like you as a man, an identity crisis is necessary for your growth. Like you got to find your swagger. You got to find that niche. You got to find what's comfortable for your success with networking. Not just getting ladies. Like that's why I'm so obsessed with suits, man. I love being. Are you a suit guy? Absolutely. Man, I have them all. Really? All. I need to step my suit game up. When you have it's literally something that I learned from my granddad. Did I tell you that story last time? He told me to go to the IDS. I went to the IDS 10 times and nobody said anything. Then I put a suit on. And every time I got on the elevator, all 10 times. How you doing, sir? What floor? And that thing just stuck with me. And then people not only treat you different, they look at you different. And a suit. And so I just like suits. It just says a lot about your appearance says a lot. Now we've come where women are like, I don't care. I smell bad. I don't. Smell bad. My hoochie stinks. My clothes are red. Wow. Bless you. Yeah. Thank you. So wait. So there was a TikTok I saw where a woman said that and said she's still getting laid, and I was repulsed by it because people were saying, "Yeah, you go ahead," and I'm like, that is so wrong on every level. Like. She's saying, I know I stink. I know it stinks down there, but I don't. And I know I'm overweight. She said, but I don't care. And like that is what's being dished out, or given to young women where it's like, oh yeah, she stinks, and like,
yeah, look how proud she is. She's proud to be herself. She's comfortable to be herself.
My question
That's
is,
what they're teaching them nowadays.
Yeah.
Be comfortable to be yourself. Like, no, there's nothing proud about having bad hygiene.
Right.
Like you said, that's one of the biggest things. Like, I don't care how attractive you are. You could be a very attractive person. If you got bad teeth and you just smell, no one's gonna be into you.
Yeah.
Like that, hygiene is one of those things. Like everyone, I don't think anyone can get over that.
Man,
personally. That's something everyone has in common.
Wait, a couple nights ago, I was hungry, so nothing was open, and I have severe insomnia, and I was like, I gotta get something to eat, so I went to the SA to go get something just to snack on, and I saw this lady, beautiful lady, walk in the thing. It was probably, I'd say 2 a.m. Let's say around 2 a.m., close to 2 a.m.
Yep.
Come in there. I go in there. There's no fruit at the gas station. There's no donuts. There's nothing. So I go over by the where they have the burgers and stuff. Like, see if nothing's in there. So I'm looking around like, what can I get out of this store? She walks in while I'm doing that. Beautiful lady. She's like mulatto. She's fit. She's got like regular shoes on. Like, she don't got tennis shoes on. And like, this lady, she's playing iGame. So I was like, hey, how you doing? You know, I wasn't trying to. She opened up her mouth. I'm not laughing at her, but she had one tooth.
Okay.
And then she was just like, the closer I got, the more I seen like her, like, I'm like, whoa. Because like from a distance, but then I got closer up, she was missing like teeth, hair, and like, I was just like, whoa. She's like asking for a lighter. She's in there just asking for a lighter. And when I came out, she was like taking a hit of something that I don't know what it was. And I was like, man, now women are even bold with that. Like, you know, like women wouldn't like do drugs in public back in the day. Like they wouldn't, like no woman wanted you to know that she's getting high. Now it's like a normal.
It is.
Like now it's like, oh, I get high. Like I smoke weed, and like, that's not a wife. Like if you smoke weed, you're probably going to be ending up not marrying a guy that you want or not married at all.
Think so?
Well, it depends on the caliber of guy. If you have a certain caliber of guy.
Because I wouldn't care if my girl smokes weed like that personally. I'll take that over a girl who drinks. I'll take that over a girl who drinks for sure. If those are my options, have a girl who drinks, or have a girl who smokes weed. I choose weed every time because
smoke stinks though.
Yeah, it stinks.
And it does your lips. And that's not ladylike. Smoking is a masculine thing. Smoking is masculine.
Yeah.
That's not a feminine nature, a woman that smokes. Yeah, somebody's gonna say Marilyn Monroe's had a cigarette, but like that's a masculine thing for smoking. That's not feminine nature to smoke. And we just go with it. And it's like, no, if you're gonna be masculine, I don't. And you can assess the more masculine a guy is, the more feminine he wants his woman. And like you can look at like even positions of power. Like,
do you think that's an old school way of thinking though? Because I personally, I've never thought of smoking as being a masculine thing. I thought it was just like bad habits, you know, smoking cigarettes specifically. I don't give a shit about weed. I think weed should be legal, personally.
Okay, okay. So if we just say yes or no, tell the truth. Do you think weed forfeits ambition? You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
At times, if not used wisely, because I was, I used to be a heavy user of marijuana. Personally, like fucking wake and bake, smoke before everything I do. Really? Oh, I'm gonna go to the mall to do some errands. Smoke first. I'm gonna go to work. I gotta smoke first. Take a shower. Smoke first. I'm gonna smoke. Well, I better smoke before I smoke. You know, like, like seriously, I used to be just fucking super potheadish like that, and it just does. And I will admit though, it does take away from like. It did take away from my ambition. Drive. It made me a little bit lazier. It made me like, a little bit? Yeah, a little bit lazier. Like, a little bit lazier. I forget. I heard this one guy, I was listening to talk, like, say you have 5 things to do that day. He would say he smoked some weed. You do like 3 of those 5 and be like, okay, yeah, I did enough for today, you know? But I think you could still have ambition Like for me personally, if I'm gonna use weed, it has to be at the end of my day, at nighttime, when work's done, everything else is done, and I'm just ready to relax and unwind anyway. Then I can smoke a little bit of weed, help me, fucking help me relax, and then help me just pass out right away.
That's control,
after.
and
yes.
I don't. I mean,
that's where I'm at now, though. Didn't used to be like that.
But so if you Umar Johnson had a good point. They want to legal something where an urban community can do. They're already not being productive. Urban community. So just imagine putting something that makes you less productive.
Right. In an already unproductive community.
Yes, that's why I reject it, because it's already unproductive community. It's crime. It's these things. Now put something in there where that clouds the rationality, and then on top of clouding the rationality, it makes it more unproductive.
Right.
No way.
But see, when you compare it, but then when you have things like alcohol being legal, and I think alcohol is far more unproductive and mainly destructive, actually, than weed will ever be. When I think about the fights, when I think about even like past relationships, when I've gotten like really intense like fights and screaming matches with my romantic partner, or even like my good friend, like some of my friends, dude, alcohol was always involved. Weed never was. We never generated or caused or amplified an argument that I had with a person. And anything, it like de-escalated it. So I see I do agree with you with a lot of ways of like why put weed unproductive, something that makes you unproductive in already unproductive community. But that unproductive community already has alcohol. And I think if you had to pick between the two, weed's the better route to go.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen any like crime movies or like anything?
Oh, yeah, I've seen some crime movies.
Okay, so have you ever seen any movie with like judges or guys in the position of power? How often do you see them pouring a glass of whiskey?
Fairly often, actually. I feel like more often than not.
Yes, they do.
Because there's this weird stereotype that alcohol is like, it's classy or something. You know what I mean? You go to the fucking 30th floor of the CEO's room. He's got his fucking really nice glasses. Yeah, bourbon right there. Pours you a glass. Here you go, Joe. Pours himself one cheers. Sits down like, oh, I'm ready to talk business now.
Right.
Whiskey.
Why do you think they're not getting high?
Because that probably clear. It's tougher to articulate shit when you're high.
Yeah, one thing I love about you, man, I keep seeing it, but I haven't said nothing about it yet. I love it. That's why I love coming on this podcast, because you make it a dialogue. You answer questions like you don't deflect, and it's like that's a masculine trait. It's like you just answer the question. Like, if somebody asks you something, you tell them like, okay, and that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, for me, it's like, I don't like doing podcasts high personally.
Right. It would
like, I'm kind of, when I smoke, I get quiet. I kind of get stuck in my head. But having the drink, it does, like having a lowball whiskey, that does loosen you up a little bit. Makes it easier to talk about.
What did you say? What did you say pod does?
It makes me quiet and stuck in my head a little bit. So that's why I don't do them before I do podcasts. But there is some things I like about that, though. I don't like them doing it in that social situation anymore. But when I'm alone and I do get high, sometimes too high, it's really easy for me to do some deep self-reflecting. And I do feel like my mind's working the more creative way. I'm able to open doors and see things that I wasn't able to before. There's something like very spiritual for me about it sometimes when I get high. I've gotten really fucking high off like some weed cookies one time, dude. It like changed my life. I broke up with my girlfriend. That next day, I quit one of my fucking jobs, dude. I was in this room. This was back before I even started doing podcasts. I ate 2 of my buddies' weed cookies. I got so fucking high. I was hiding under the covers of my bed, dude. And I was just thinking about every aspect of my life. And I don't get that same type of just deep reflection with alcohol.
What did you tell them about those cookies?
I told him those things are way too fucking strong, dude. That's what I told him. Okay. Yeah. Wow. I still talk to that dude. He made some of the best cookies I've ever had in my life. You know?
Okay. Okay, man. So he's got the cookie. You got his number? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I'll get you some.
I'm just kidding. That's funny. That is good stuff, man.
But no, back to like what comes like people in power and drinking.
Yeah.
It does loosen them up a little bit. It loosens you up and it makes it easier for you to talk about things.
Yeah.
You know, I get that. But the thing is, like, it's really easy to overdo alcohol. Okay, you can have a low bar of whiskey, fine. Don't do it. Once that second one comes, it's like, okay, then you might start feeling a little buzzed up. Like, people always say alcohol speaks like, a drunk mind speaks sober thoughts. I agree with that, like, to an extent. I agree with that. You know, until a little bit, I'll let them get away with that.
Yeah.
But once you're on like that fourth or fifth glass of whiskey, dude, I'm not. Eventually, people start spewing nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, when you're drunk, I mean that's different. I think somebody said like a glass of wine a day is healthy. I guess I've never tried it, but the weed thing, I'm skeptical of it because it comes with a certain mentality that it's not. If somebody said, "Hey, I drink on the weekend," I'd be like, "Okay," but if somebody told me they smoke pot on the weekend, I'm probably gonna hire the guy that drinks on the weekend.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because if somebody smokes pot, there's a demeanor, there's a thing that comes with that is so consistent. It's like this, just chill, man. I don't want you like that if you're working for me, because that feeling probably feels really
That's
good.
all good, bro.
Yeah. Oh man, just let it go, man. You're just making
it's
bad.
just life, man.
Oh man, that's funny. Don't forget to send me that guy's music. What's his name? Lil Pump.
Oh, Pump.
Pump.
Yeah. I sent you his shit.
But
what about a guy who drinks too much on the weekend, you know?
Yeah,
those guys that get like guys that get like blackout drunk, dude.
What about a guy that smokes too much?
I think the difference is that when you guy smokes too much, he's going to bed. A guy who drinks too much, he's fucking puking, he's getting his car drive, you know. It's just a lot more destructive of a drug than marijuana is.
In the long run?
And in the long run and in the short run, I think.
I mean, it's interesting. To each its own. I mean, I'm not the Saha for judgment, but I don't.
I mean, I do both. Okay. Occasionally, you know, I like having a few beers. Yeah. I like smoking a little weed. Every now and then.
Don't say that on here, man. Somebody might be. I just met a guy that is he was a undercover agent at the airport. And the stories he was telling me, I was like, that seemed like that would be fun. Like they would get packages and go and come down and like look through the package and then give it. They would call police. Police come in a fake FedEx truck. He'd give him the package and the dude would be like, that truck's looking weird. He's like, no, it's a good man. What are you talking about? It's a real truck, right? And then he said 15 minutes later, he wanted to be like, well, I'll see you soon, because they had to wait 15 minutes for opening the package or whatever. And it was just crazy how surprised they were that they got caught.
Yeah.
Like, man, over that thing. He said the majority of the time, this is what he told me, the majority of the time, it's like they're in air and probably high. It's just like, yeah, it just dilutes.
I will say, smoking weed does kind of make you dumber. It makes me dumber.
Yeah.
You know?
So I wouldn't make that good. I wouldn't put that in the way of our success for humanity if we know that it does that to the majority of people.
Right.
There's probably some people that make it smart, but the majority have that response. So why would we do that to ourselves? Just so we can do it? No, and then you're really gonna have some people not doing nothing. But I reject because I hear that reality of like it doesn't make us function smarter.
Well, I don't think alcohol does either, though.
Too much, no. But there's a reason why every judge's chamber,
and especially you look at all the deaths that are caused by alcohol, the fucking DUIs, the car accidents, the beatings.
That's what we're doing. But I'm saying like why does it, you can't go to any judge's chamber and there's not no whiskey in there?
No, you can't.
Every judge's chamber has some whiskey in there.
Yeah.
You're gonna find
or scotch,
or some scotch. And I see judges because their mind, their thinking is good. They're credible. That's what I'm saying. Like Pookie, Ray Ray, and Bob and Billy smoking weed is not Like how I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny, brother. All right, man. I think that's pretty good. We're past 4 o'clock. We're almost 3 hours in here again.
Oh, my God. That's crazy, man. This is good. I'll be back, man.
Yeah, it's getting a little toasty in here.
It is.
It is. Sorry.
That's probably why I'm sneezing.
Yeah, probably. That's right. I'll have to figure something out to keep it nice and cool in here. But, dude, I appreciate you a lot coming over here and sitting down and taking fucking 3 hours out of your day just to have this back and forth with me, and as we try to dissect the world and go back and forth on things we agree with, things we don't agree with. And
I love it.
Yeah.
I
love hearing other people's perspectives and outlooks in life. I think that I've said this on here before. I think the best way a person can grow is by listening to someone who thinks differently than you do. Listening to someone who disagrees with you.
That's wise.
You know, you're not going to learn too much by someone who has the same type of mind as you do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think that's one of the wisest things. That's a good closing remark. I mean, like, that's the final thought, man.
That's the final thought? Okay.
That is the final thought.
You got anything else you want to add before?
Thank you for having me, man. Come visit us on Sunday morning at 1230, 550 West 7th Street. We have men's group at our other building. It's 545 West 7th Street at 7 o'clock on Wednesdays. There is some other stuff. Go to our website. I will put the website and the link.
Yep. After we end it here, you can give it to me and I'll put it in there for everyone.
Or .org. It's thewaychurch.org.
Okay.
Or .com. Yeah, it's thewaychurch.org.
My uncle has a massive forehead.
Who said that?
Raised man 123. My uncle has a massive forehead. You know, I never noticed it before.
That was good. That's right. So now I gotta get him. This guy would have been one of the best basketball players in our family, but he just can't stay healthy. This guy breaks down. I think he got hurt one time putting gas in his car, tore his ACL.
Jesus.
No, I'm just saying.
He's getting hurt like Teddy Bridgewater.
Right, that's my guy. That's my nephew. That's my favorite nephew. Shout out to Reyes, man.
Reyes, thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out this whole time with us. We had people hopping in and out this whole time. He says, "Wow." So there's a chat right there for you.
Oh man, so you got me first, nephew. Man. That is crazy. He said, "Man, that was a low blow too, man." You know I'm insecure about that. Hey, but look, you're on your way there because I saw something on yours Sunday. I said you're on your way to where I'm going. He can't hear it no more, probably.
No, he's still here. We'll give him a second to respond. There's a little bit of a delay here.
That is funny. Yeah. Oh, so did somebody respond to that?
I'm not sure. Those messages were from a while ago. I think.
Okay. Good. Technology is so crazy. You talk to the people.
I know. It's fun. Good times.
Man, I appreciate you being here.
Appreciate you. He says, I'm salty.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Well, hey, I got your information now. You'll be back soon. I'm excited for future episodes we're going to do, the back and forths we're going to have. People my friends that I want to bring on here and have you meet, and some of the guys that you know in your life that you want to bring over here too.
We should make my nephew come on here.
I'm down. I have so many
you want to
ideas.
come on the podcast?
Yeah, I got a lot of ideas for great content we're all going to be able to collaborate on here soon.
Absolutely, man. This has been rich, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
man. Pastor
Joseph Webb IV, everyone, and I choose the Dog Life. Dog Life chose me.
Oh,
peace.
Damn, you like that? That was awkward. You had that last time, man.
I did it.
That's good, man. Oh.